facing off with me. Know that that's a wrong move, I got you down to your knees. I just kill and make them lose it, I'm the carnival king. You can't kill me, I just hit it and just respawn, relaunch, repossess the reaper. Some respect to the name, know that all my enemies and graves are have been going insane. I got a stellar wind behind me, I just glow like champagne. And your girl a fan of me, excuse me for the pain. And it looks so easy, I'm on TV, I'm like, hey, watch me eat the competition like a remix to Ignition. And my lyrics ammunition, and that end before that vision, like a hero on a mission. So my aim got that precision, you don't wanna mess with me, you just stop, look and listen. Cause I'm coming out the underdog, throne of the world, you know baby that I want it all. Every day I hustle, grind, I'm building up a stamina. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. Eyes on the prize, I won't stop, it's just the underdog. Diamonds and pearls for you baby, know I want it all. Every day I hustle, grind, I'm building up a stamina. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm coming up next, the next phenomenon. I don't need no honor rush, kaya rabi sa isa. Wanna take a shot at me, tol irisa, then aim it up. Hilas nakaakbang pero know that I am number one. Taking over cities, yeah, from CDO to Manila. Rabi sa gunsaon ni mo di ka kapalag. You are no challenge like Saitama, I don't need another punch. Always land on number 9, always win like Baccarat. Bahalag Bia or the underdog, I'm phenomenal. Watch me rise, cause I'm coming out the underdog. Throne of the world, you know baby that I want it all. Every day I hustle, grind, I'm building up a stamina. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. Eyes on the prize, I won't stop, it's just the underdog. Diamonds and pearls for you baby, know I want it all. Every day I hustle, grind, I'm building up a stamina. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm up next, the next phenomenon. You know that I'm coming up next, the next phenomenon.
Enemy down.
Stage.
Yeah, especially when you have two teams with such a history facing off against each other on
Hello
the domestic stage. We
guys,
were talking about it a little bit
Kahalle
yesterday
Londo.
with Pacific rematches, but
Welcome
there are
back.
so many extra
Welcome back,
layers of
welcome.
mind games and understandings
New.
and playing to those tendencies that you expect from
Live
your opposition.
stream.
And we don't really even have to worry about what they're going to play because they never adopted any Tejo things on this map. There's so many things that they need to change, and Billy have been
you're back.
stupidly dominant if you look at their record on Ascent in the past.
Yeah, absolutely lights out, and it makes sense, right? When you've got a guy like YZ that's going to be playing into the server. I stand by it. I think Ascent is just the test map for your Jet player, for your Duelist player. It really is the map where I think your individual skill expression shines more than any other.
And the YZ and Juicy matchup, especially that Duelist matchup that we're all looking towards. And I kind of have to wonder, you know, with the history
So,
behind
yup,
Nav and
aaj hai
Juicy having
BLG
played
versus
together
Vizzy,
before.
as
Yes,
you
it
all
was
know.
years ago, but knowing those
I'm
duelist
supporting
tendencies,
BLG
even that can
because
shine
वो
through
मेरे
the smallest
pick'ems
of
में है.
details can make or break the difference today.
And
Yeah, if there's
BLG
one
में
thing
ज़्यादा
that
अच्छे
BLG are
players
gonna
भी
know
हैं,
about
in
Wolves
my
is that
opinion.
On all the maps they play,
And
really, they love
let's
taking
see.
mid control because
Let's
they
hope
want
for
to
the
make sure
best.
they're always keeping their
I really
offense
don't
open
know.
for mid-round pivots. This time,
Ascent
we'll
है पहला
figure
map,
things over on the
and
defense
Billy
side,
Billy
so
ने
we'll
Yeah.
play until later.
This is the comp that we expected. They are so
Okay.
dominant here. In fact, their win streak is crazy at this point. But Wolves know this. They know how to
Vizzy
play
लिया
against
है.
this comp. At this point, they've had experience into it. But I wonder if they're going to make
Vizzy
some
ने
changes.
Neon लिया है. Fuck.
The Neon is something that's so
KJ लिया है.
unorthodox in a sense, something that Billy are familiar with, but something that the rest of
Damn.
us really aren't. We really don't see this,
Damn.
especially in Americas. This is something that's completely different, and I wonder if that will shift their focus maybe towards A main control. Although their mid control is strong, I equally believe that A main is something that Wolves is gonna have to shut down.
Yeah, 100%, because, you know, if Billy Gaming are just able to just run exec plays with YZ's Neon, you're just not going to be able to really stop this guy from getting into your sight. again, Bilibili Gaming have been very successful when playing post-plant, so don't let them on your site.
This match will be the definition of friendly fire. And speaking of fire, bringing the heat over in the caster booth, it is Uber and Wyatt.
This is the 9th time that Wolves and Bilibili have faced off in the history of their rosters, but this one, of course, has the stakes ratcheted up to 11. They've got to go against each other, two teams intimately familiar with one another for a spot in the playoffs. So to make it to our next phase, go home empty-handed.
It was just during that qualifying run for both these teams that they exchanged clean sweep victories. It was Wolves that knocked Bilibili into that lower bracket in their own qualifying game, where then BLG had to defeat EDG, the all-time best team for the region, to even make it here. It's been volatile affairs from
damn भाई और क्या ही जानना है तुम्हें प्रूव करने के लिए EDG का लो टाइम भी चल रहा है थोड़ा सा so कह भी नहीं सकते कुछ to be honest ठीक है थोड़ा जरूरत थी थोड़ी EDG को आराम की you know थोड़ा सा जानने की कि भाई थोड़ा सा समझो भाई थोड़ा अब जानने का टाइम आ चुका है बस बहुत ज़्यादा ओवरपावर्ड खेल रहे थे वो लोग
because you are giving your opponents that choice of side, and naturally Wolves say we will
and genuinely थोड़ा सा वो ज़रूरत थी उनको
that big lead with this double sentinel comp to try and lock you out of the map.
It's bold from Bilibili to pick this into Wolves, who last played this comp. They know they have to go up against a powerhouse on defense on an already defense-sided map. So how many rounds will it require for Bilibili on this attack to be able to switch over to that second half, be able to close the game out on their pick?
Let's see. Let's hope for the best.
In that game against Sentinels, especially.
अबे लिया क्या है
for example, and
देखा भी नहीं मैंने.
And taking a long time to start to make a move, but even from their coach in the press conference, they've said this change of
genuinely देखा ही नहीं मैंने भाई.
Thejodone was actually allowed Silfat to call some more up-tempo rounds. That's why we saw this unleashed Wolves against Heretics. It's fast-paced play. They got in their face constantly. So we are watching two teams in the middle of an evolution now in the crucible of this tournament.
Everything on the line.
भाई पानी लेते हो क्या बन इतनी देर से टाइम लग रहा है तो चलो भाई देख ही लेते हैं ब्रो you know what पहले देख ही लेते हैं
Time to descend into beautiful inscrutable Chinese Valorant, folks. Make some noise, Toronto. Let's get this one started.
Yup, let's see कौन जीतेगा पहला राउंड.
all stacked up headed towards
बहुत बड़ा
there is one kill trip towards
advantage मिलेगा पहले राउंड से. So obviously
Starting to clear some of that Sentinel util they've gotten their way into this big side. Why are you trying to play from behind this cyber case? But K9 is dealt with Juicy. That's a play towards mid. Now there's less of a timer on Bilibili. Awareness, of course, will play through market. They've got to get going, and YZ wastes no time touching on.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Wolves are stalwart here on this pistol. And Levius is trapped here at Switch. Spring will step up to dispatch him. And all things considered, that's a pretty clean start.
Sheesh.
Beautiful anchoring. YU connecting some great shots, swinging out from the back on that.
भाई साहब ये क्या देख लिया मैंने?
Crucially, Subat denies YZ.
Silfat को इतनी ज़्यादा टाइम कैसे मिल गया मारने का? पुश कर रहे थे साथ में तो करते. Damn भाई.
Respected. The timing is he's spoken about how much he admires some of these top tier IGL's mainstays. That one close to two of the best that he was acknowledging earlier.
He hopes to join their ranks. Getting into playoffs is a huge next step in that plan.
And now I do want to talk about the importance of
अबे यार अच्छे प्लेयर्स तो दोनों साइड है to be honest. इनकी साइड स्प्रिंग है, Silfat है. उनकी साइड Busy है, Russia है, Levius है. Let's see. But वही है, Bulls की साइड प्लेयर्स भी तो अच्छे हैं.
Double sentinel compositions. Definitely have what it takes to slow that Neon down, provide that stopping power.
Oh damn.
Does reveal some defenders here, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as Bilibili are concerned. But with 40 seconds on the ticker, they've got to make a decision.
What the hell are you doing, guys?
trips to Neff, you are going to want that null command against the comp Wolves are running.
30
Get
seconds
those
left.
trips deactivated so you can try to get a clean exec later in this half.
The stack up towards that heaven side as Juicy takes first contact, knows now. The Billy you're trying to push up into upper. He's going to have to work them down. Clutch might have been about
Pyara.
is handled. Juicy tries to fall back off the line. Relay Bolt forces it back to a degree, and Wisey is
Pyara, bro.
trading for the attackers now. Lysor is
What the
overwhelmed
fuck?
in hell. Shieldfat has a chance to intervene, but Billy dispersed themselves around the side.
Oh my god, he aa gaya.
Gets the drop on Shieldfat. He can't convert.
Oh, that's a beautiful flash, Musha. Excellent.
Damn, bhai.
One health, one singular point of health. Shieldfat, I like that. Shock just dodged. He's on the edge of it. Rusia with a solitary point of health.
Holy
now looks to
shit.
challenge. The shock dart's expended.
Holy shit,
No
bro.
connection for Shieldfat. He himself is
Oh my goodness.
Mastercard drifting with 1 point of health left.
Damn.
It doesn't get any closer than that.
How on earth have they gotten away with that? That little play of the 2
Sheesh,
versus 2.
bhai.
That underhanded flash up from Neff at the exact
Holy
time.
shit, kya
Musha
nikala hai,
had
bro,
worked
ye?
through window to swing out with a classic. That was a
Bhai
lovely
sahab.
play, making the most of the minimal amount of options that they had in that situation.
Bhai classic se kya nikala hai, bro?
Heaven fight. Where are the shots? Nothing is connecting from Wolves.
The relay bolt forced Juicy
away they win.
and Billy
Damn,
got to
bhai.
take these, XP1 scenarios all across the map. Work the map to get rid of that util
Holy
early
shit,
as well.
bro.
Very
Oh
good
my
controls of each
goodness.
side already starting to unfold. YU Sufat dealt with YZ. Able to get this Spectre involved. Juicy's dealt with it Speedway now running headlong
Bhai
into
sahab.
Spring and dispatches him with ease.
Kitta.
That's a YZ moment early on. 8 HP. What if I go for more anti-eco kills?
7 more than he needs.
Continue to hunt.
Damn,
Pretty
bhai.
effortless there from BLG. Impressive shot from YU, but no real economic
Sheesh.
damage done. We were just talking about the importance of getting the economy rolling for Wolves so they can get to
भाई
an
बिली
operator.
बिली तो बहुत strong खेल रही
BLG
है.
have fully denied that. Cannot believe that they've wrangled the game back immediately
कोई
in this
परेशानी नहीं है
fashion.
ऐसा दिख रहा है.
Wolves are getting their full buy off. But they are going up against a pretty strong bonus because Billy already have a stupid big economy on account of just winning
बोलो
that
भाई, अरे,
anti-ego. Doesn't even
Odin
feel like they're going up against a bonus. This is a full buy.
Without an economy running, there's
ओडिल ले ली
no
bro.
prospects for Juicy
सिर्फ
just
आठ
yet.
में.
Posted pretty far forward towards the mid part of the map, but has to gate crash out. Big damage. Wisey dinked down to 10 as he tentatively inches into mid.
Sufa has picked up that
Damn.
Odin, which is still strong on the map. Not as obnoxious with those changes towards B main earlier in the year, but there are still some paper mache walls like this if you want to get the spam down mid.
Wisey's sticking to that left side wall.
भाई कितना low है bro. 10 HP से.
Spam from Sealfat. Sealfat not shoulder peeking this. He's waiting off another form of info gain. Does have Juicy watching from an off range. Oh!
Oh, what a timing, bro.
Finds the time absolutely perfectly. And there's a refresh of the dark cover in B main, so Billy don't walk up B yet.
BLG now lacking their space creator when they want to go
What a
for
timing, भाई. उसको पता कैसे चला?
Some of
भाई
those trips
साहब.
have been dealt with a bit of that defensive utility. They're still so spread across the map though, BLG. K-Knight is trying to really sell this presence on B as they slowly creep towards A, but they still have to deal with a couple of deadlock trips.
won't be
There
ready for
are
this.
multiple Wolves players there.
K-Knight can't convert. Sealfat's able to get away or not. Another respect to
Holy
how close
shit.
K-Knight was, but Juicy at least gets involved.
Okay, side तो मिल गई.
A presence has been neutralized in the dying seconds of the round. There's a plant
It's a
here for
2v2.
Billy.
Let's see.
How are they still winning these fights? There was very little time left. The pressure to run into the site. Juicy has multiple flashes to try and get out of this dark cover as soon as the molly expires. But BLG, they're playing anti, shouldn't get blinded up.
Turret, of course, firing at that clone. Foray here from Tree. Juicy makes a bit of noise, but the door is shut.
They've split up. He has to break it.
Door is down, but that is time that has been bled off the clock. Levius shrugs off the flash, is ready to take the fight. A second one comes in. And
Pyara, bro.
runs into his line. Lysor, the veteran, on the site. Gives it a tap.
Oh my goodness.
And he delivers.
250. ये क्या चल क्या रहा है?
Lysor's had his fair share of the last couple of days, but in his 4th consecutive global, he delivers a stunning round like that.
He said in the press conference that he's just blocking out the criticism. His team is still behind him. He still has that self-belief. He comes up in a round of the utmost importance. I can't believe that BLG were able to get that so close. It was bizarre. Late in the round, they got so spread across the map.
ना भाई अच्छा खेल रहे bro. दोनों teams बहुत अच्छा खेल रही भाई.
And it feels like Wolves coming in a little
Genuinely.
right now with the aim.
दोनों से जो भी जाएगी ना भाई दोनों अच्छी है. Genuinely.
My words at the
In
end.
my words, in my opinion, दोनों अच्छी है भाई.
Hard fought round there for Wolves. It was costly. Does Billy have that economic base to play off of? Had to be a gate crash out there for Juicy lest he be suppressed by the 0 point.
Look, you can see right now that they've got YU over towards that A side, all the trips over at B. That's
Liosare nahi. Nice.
Dangerous here. Hunter's Fury now coming out from Sufat. He knows his action over towards mid. Why is he trying to dodge away from those blasts? Levius that was handled on the big side. He just walked into main on his own. Lysor turns the flash and there's trade.
Bhai kyun?
Necessary. Lysor is having one. Last couple of rounds, 4 kills for him. Big impact.
He's had enough of the chatter online, the criticism. He's stepping up when they needed him most. Trying to even things up. That spring caught alone in the corner.
There's another potential double up for the defenders here, though. Wangy was going to be. What is this? Okay, Annihilation drawn out. Why is he trying to play ahead of it? Gets rid of Lysor, but can he save his compatriot? No, Rushia. It's too late to save him for the cocoon. Why has to play through.
Oh my god, 3v1 है. बहुत मुश्किल है.
On his side, Wyatt.
Obviously save करना चाहिए. But still पैसा बहुत है यार.
Take a stroll right out of there into the attack spawn.
But time भी तो नहीं है.
Next, as you mentioned, BLG, they had that economic base that you get just from winning the anti-eco early, which is applied so much pressure to
कोई ना यार, कोई ना bro.
Coming into every single round.
बहुत closely हार रहे हैं लोग rounds. बहुत छोटी-छोटी चीज पे हार रहे हैं. उल्टा चाइनीज टीम में तो दोनों को मालूम है अपने comps. कौन से comps क्या खेलता है कौन. So they know.
It's a solo walk up from Levius there in main. Good trade architecture set up here. It wasn't necessary in the end.
This is a little mental. But he gets away with it. All good.
Little jump swing.
Got away with it.
Yeah, okay. We are limbering up.
भाई खड़ा हो जाता है.
Okay, next time I saw with a bit of feeling.
Yeah,
a bit more. I need some more movement out there. You know what I'm saying?
The VOD review Sentinels. Get some tips and tricks from Zelsis.
Just point at him. You know, you just point.
Damn भाई.
You're round 6 now. It is still Billy with the ability to buy and a lot of ultimates in hand.
Nice.
A little disconnected from the rest of Wolves there.
But still, though, I can't blame him. He's happy to try to take these fights when he has the gate crash to get away. To be fair, he was close to the kill.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Certainly have rather gone for a play like that with the AWP. All right, here comes the null command. Hit coming through. Hey, I love this from Wolves. Double up in main. Try to get the kill on Ruth.
Hi, Sav.
I picked the wrong player to try and
Time, bro. Okay. प्यारा round निकाला भाई. प्यारा round. You can't do shit about it, भाई.
Great execution and pretty cheaply done. Just the null command committed here by Billy. Can sit back on a post.
लो भाई, Levius ने एक और मार दिया. उसका भी ult है. अच्छा आ भी गया. Ult भी आ गया. Wow.
Being earned.
Save करना ही पड़ेगा. They don't have any other option, भाई.
From Wolves to get a couple players in main, so you could try to isolate the one guy on that split in the for the 4-1 hit, but Arusha crucially just wins out that duel. Yeah, for me, one of the players who has stepped up the most from watching the playoff one into Toronto.
Okay, so Fat probably doesn't want to swing on this one. Firing squad, looking straight at him.
Damn, bhai.
And Billy get an important attack side round.
पूरा का पूरा utility की चाह हो गई. See of Fat के पास utility है वैसे.
I think Lysor was pushed up kind of close to
wow.
main.
Okay, timeout आ गया.
When the null command was used, it actually caught onto him. So those trap wires that he had set over towards A were actually going off. And that just allowed BLG to sprint through tree, get into the site for free. Could have slowed them down a bit.
Nice.
Helped with that fight that Wolves took in main, but not going to be the case. This is going to force them into a timeout here.
It's a real red light shown to Wolves.
अच्छा है.
Of course they really want to
timeout लिया Wolves ने. बहुत ज़रूरत थी इस time का.
ना
तो पानी भर के bro.
This round loss puts them in a very a little bit of an odd economical position. They're winning these rounds when they do, with a couple of guns, 2, maybe 1 sort of Phantom in play. Now, this has really knocked them down. They do have a dimensional drift of Juicy's to try and play around, who's been quite good sort of playing that solo weaker site. Saw him get that pick up on Levius on that B side early, but then that last round, just a walk up on mid. Pretty standard stuff, but a lot of guns trained on him by Billy. No chance for a trade to come in from Covey.
I would definitely want to give Coach Fade over on Wolves his flowers. There were many moments so far in their series they've had where they've gone to a timeout and he's given them the right adjustment. You know, I think of even that first game on Split against Sen where they couldn't get anything done on their defensive side, and then they go on a run after his timeout. He's given them some great adjustments. Now here, I'm just looking at the economy for Wolves. I would be absolutely stunned if Lysor isn't buying an off on the next gun round and throwing that to Juicy. That's why he's just got the classic.
With an off in hand last round, Juicy likely would have been able to handle.
Did Spring throw him the Sheriff last second? I'm not exactly sure because he had just the classic a second ago.
Still has 3.7, so I think you're right.
Maybe you know, trying to give it to the guy who's hitting harder with
Let's
the aim
see,
right now.
William.
Yep.
Which, listen.
क्या टाइम आउट के बाद वुल्स की बुद्धि खुलेगी?
He's waking
वुल्स की
up
बुद्धि
and everyone else
हाँ मिड के लिए कॉल हो आई
into
होगी.
that form
मिड
they've
ध्यान
been in.
दो,
Because
ऐसे मत
Spring
करो.
Juicy, then, you know, we're talking about an even more dangerous
इनको
Wolves
पुश ही
squad.
मत करने दो.
Undoubtedly the key to the game here for Wolves. YZ gets very far up on site very early. Spring trying to get onto the site, but he has to walk through a fragment. Takes a bunch of damage on the way in. YU playing out from tree. He's able to find a pick here and there's
Oh, bhai.
down. They lit up
एक भी गन मिली तो.
Wolves taking it slow. Pinkspiel tearing Billy apart. Spike's loose out in front of K-Knight and he's got 3 guns to get past.
I have the spike.
Dimensional drift just to confirm. Yes, K-Knight is here. Wolves set up to close the net.
Even pinged by the cam. This is a nightmare.
K-Knight still with a decent amount of health.
Damn,
Oh
भाई.
my god.
Another massacre.
शीश भाई.
Misery.
2 thrifty
This
भाई.
time, and this time from Wolves. Such patient play off heaven. Spring, I think, tries to dive in a little bit early there, Wyatt.
Oh my
Caught
god,
in some
bro.
of that KO util, but after that, it's the play off from Sinfat's recon util that gets them in there.
Some great pop flashes out of the smoke as well.
भाई सबको मारा भाई पकड़ के कुछ भी कहो.
Recon. And you can see even this time being wasted and players distracted from BLG because we're still trying to deal with.
भाई सबको मारा पकड़ के
The
भाई.
cages are making things awkward as well. And you see YZ's just preoccupied breaking stuff in the corner. We're already into the next one. Oh my word! And Juicy's picked up the off. Oh, he's just greedy though and gets punished.
Damn भाई.
Comfortable for YZ, but you
पीछे आना था obviously भाई.
Last round from Lysor. Definitely trending towards an early op into the hands of the Yoru.
And don't even end up needing that cash when they just recover a bunch of rifles, win out the eco round, put BLG in a pretty horrific economic situation for the first time in this half outside of when they lost the pistol. But then
BLG को बहुत ज़रूरत है अभी.
go of their own.
तगड़ी गन की.
I wonder what triggered the use of this barrier here from Lysor. Might have just been arbitrarily thrown out, so it doesn't have much longer to stand. It will be cleared anyway. Gravnet caught. YZ wants to go for it. Relay bolt comes in. Dangerous now. Hunter's Fury for Lysor. It's trying to dodge.
Damn, bhai.
Now YZ's unleashed. Looking for some connection off this overdrive, but Sinfat's
Oh
waiting for
my
him. Spring's gonna
god.
be there. Spray under the door just as it comes down. And a Billy
Oh hell
are
bro.
hampered. Down to 2.
क्या है इन लोग ने?
Look at this now with their Sentinel down. Pay attention to YU. He's wrapping all the way back to A main. This is going to be a multi-pronged retake. BLG know they need to get proactive, but they're punished for it.
They had to go for it, try and get some more extremity control of this A side, but eventually the Wolves hunt them
शीश
down.
भाई एक टाइम आउट टिक क्या पूरा बदल गया, पूरा रूप ही बदल दिया ब्रो वुल्स का.
Make the pitch over towards A in a
पूरा
decimal.
रूप ही बदल दिया भाई.
Both teams really went for some great little plays there towards Cat. That was some impressive stuff, to be honest. Again, I like that Wolves, when they're recognizing when these splits are coming in, that they need to just be active on one side of it to catch a player off. That was YZ. He was paranoid up, but then he sends in the relay ball,
प्यारा निकाला
and
भाई.
then an immediate Hunter's Fury used to save him, kill Lysor when he's stunned. That is just some lightning fast awareness of how to take advantage of the bolts and abilities that they have. That was fantastic. Again, Wolves, their economy is burgeoning at this point.
Economy
They're
देखो
throwing another op
bro.
to Juicy.
उसने फिर से ऑप ली. अच्छा
He's a
ऑप
little greedy. Probably could have
वही
just
कर
gone
ली
out
थी.
with
बाय नहीं
V1.
करी है किसी ने. ओके.
Lockdown for Levy is still being held on.
उठाई है वो.
We'll see decent spots to place it, but into a Hunter's Fury round, potentially. You've got to account for that server ultimate.
I believe they did get the 0 point onto Juicy and mid, so they know about where this operator is at, and they're going to use this lockdown to try and clear everyone out of B. Still, look at the amount of tripwires littered across this site.
The shocks aren't actually clearing any of that utility here from the Sentinels, Wyatt. So now Sufat can sit back, go for a spray. Sprint on the drop of Rushia. Where is the rest of BLG? They can't get off Speedway at all.
भाई ये क्या हुआ?
BLG disrespected.
Just entirely disconnected from Russia. Bold to try and get in there with the spike plan.
अबे जीत गए ये लोग.
Can't get out of main. They're stuffed in the choke. There's trips.
भाई टाइम आउट लो ब्रो. टाइम आउट लो. ना हेल ना ब्रो. टाइम आउट लो ब्रो. BLG टाइम आउट लो ब्रो.
Blood back in. Lysor is on one, by the way. Another big round, multi-kill, 3K.
But we got to talk about it. There's a massive timing issue there for Billy. They, use that Omen ult to get onto the site. That's
Time out, please. Time out. Please time out. Thank you.
Multiple Sonic
Thank you
sensors,
very much.
A one-way cyber
Fuck
cage
भाई.
in B main, and the fact they're getting sprayed
इतना
down
गंदा
by
कैसे
those
खेलने लग
like
गई
push-outs.
टाइम
There's a
आउट में
massive
भाई.
gap in spacing.
इतना वोल्ट्स
And it's
कैसे
just
मार
a
रही है?
solo planter for Billy on the site.
राम भाई.
So far, we've seen them be so good wide at working the map, using their time in the round to passively clear some of that Sentinel U2 without offering up.
अचानक से वोल्ट्स इतना मारने लग गई जैसे टाइम आउट लिया.
You just can't be doing that against this comp. They were finding success when they were, as you mentioned, taking it a little bit slower and then going for some splits onto the sites. Just a straight up B main rush. I get it. They feel like we have the lockdown, we can force everyone out and then get into the site. They just didn't calculate for the fact that they would be stuck in choke. The lockdown would expire and they would give time for wolves to flood.
Sound sensor up.
They just didn't realize that there would be such an open window for them to get back in.
Half eco है उनका. बुलडॉग के पास एक गार्जियन है. Obviously ये राउंड जीतना बहुत मुश्किल होगा इनके लिए. सियोफैट को कुछ बाय भी नहीं करना पड़ा ब्रो. उनके पास ओडेन और ऑप तो है ही.
So now Billy will be humbled somewhat.
Let's see bro.
Down to a bit of a half buy.
भाई दो लोग का कंट्रोलर प्लीज नहीं.
Wow.
Nice clean up to be honest.
Just takes him out of the game instantly.
He is hitting right now. Aim is on point. Intuition guiding him there.
Sheesh.
Got the trip for mid info. Pretty standard stuff. Juicy is rotated to pick up towards Tree. They've really got their eyes on everything. There's such a deep trip in B main that had to be cleared as well. Billy do remove both
Okay.
of the traps.
Mid का भी आइडिया है अभी.
Better pace this time for Billy.
भाई अगर ये मरा ना,
Of this Sentinel stall,
ये मरा ना, दिमाग खराब हो जाना मेरा.
Still, with Rusha down, having to hit a site without being able to obscure any angles.
No smokes left.
Okay. अभी यूटिल्स तो बची नहीं इनके पास.
Contacting to an operator is always dangerous in that situation too, but Juicy doesn't land the shot. He's going to be forced
Haga bro.
Annihilation popped here by Lysor. Billy have a chance to respond, and they opt to back out.
They're going straight to B. Juicy catches them on the rotate to market.
Okay, अच्छा निकाला.
Just making it a nightmare to play against this operator. There's been a from the shadows backside entrenched in Spring with Sufat.
And now Spring's having to get.
भाई दो बंदे अंदर भी बैठे.
Extra players to bolster the B holder, and K-Knight has got to go for it. Caution to the wind thrown, but Sufat brings a stabilizing aspect to 7 defense side rounds.
What an advantage that is for, got on by Lysor, just finding that spam kill early on. That essentially
like deep
around. You're trying to rotate around a scent against an AWP.
Without smokes.
You're cooked in mid. You're so cooked.
There's almost guaranteed that Juicy was going to have another chance to take contact somewhere on the map. He makes a good rotation to mid. And then this is just a very haggard sort of last-ditch attempt to go towards the B side. The round is basically won.
क्या मार रहे हैं bro? Wolves तो गंदा मार रही bro, genuinely.
But it just pushes them into B, force BLG's hand. on the full buy now, but it's left them with some awkward weaponry. Specifically, you're looking at Neff just has the stinger right now. They're trying to break this trap in mid.
We're going to talk about Neff because those null commands are pretty pivotal if you want to play that fast hit style against double senti. Neff has not been developing those ultimates.
और हर बार लॉक इन हो जाता है ना भाई, तो ये क्लियर अप करने में कितना टाइम लगता है उनको ये पे। ये एक क्लियर अप करी से ही भाई।
Cleared.
And then Juicy has pivoted over towards A. They have control of A main because of the barrier mesh.
This is the same spot Juicy held last round and he missed the
Mid
shot.
छोड़ देते भाई।
Don't expect that to happen again.
Sheesh.
The setup for Wolves right now is so good. Flash is crucial to get Juicy out of there. Lysor wants to fight. Can Juicy get back to actually help?
Lysor didn't want to give up the space. Eventually, though, he has to. Juicy just takes it further back line. Relay bolt's going to be respected, and here comes YZ to collect. The operator taken loose. Lysor steps up and only gets the one at Spring. Moves out
Spring
onto the
का
side.
अबे Spring को पता ही नहीं है क्या?
This puts Wolves now.
Okay, nice.
Sufat in a position to make use of this recon.
2v1 है, 2v3. I think we लोग घुसने का try करेंगे.
Just risk ripping the Hunter's Fury to try and kill the planter in this situation. Doesn't want to. They're definitely.
Okay, I think एक बार spam तो करना चाहिए इसको.
Eyes on this over. Why you can, that'll be clear. Sufat spray has forced K-Knight out of the open somewhat. Bolt gonna be cleared. Why you? Oh, there's a ping, and Rushia is handled.
What the
Sufat
fuck?
trying to find K-Knight in that direction. He's considering even diving in for this one. Confirms his location. It's K-Knight v Sufat. A shot, he gets the job done.
What the fuck?
Danger, danger, but no time
But
for
time नहीं बचा, nice,
Sufat has to
bro.
walk away with bragging rights and nothing more.
But still उनकी इकोनॉमी की चाम उठ गई bro.
The kills were pretty sick from Wolves.
COFAT के 9,000 रुपए हो गए भाई.
To make the most of this util that they've got, that recon again gets so much value. Neither player able to break it, so YU gets the kills. But this moment from YZ was really the pivotal one for the attackers. Juicy didn't have a gate crash to escape. YZ perfectly places that relay bolt to punish him.
Still बढ़िया है.
Wolves looking a little different now with Lysor brimming with this confidence. Look at how he keeps playing forward in trees, determined to actually try and take these fights. Juicy still has the op to hand, but the protocols from Billy for dealing with that opping Yoru last round were pretty much perfect.
Juicy has full control of B main. I will say,
Okay,
Billy are doing
इनको idea है mid पे कोई है.
Double op?
In this. Yeah, why not?
अरे what the fuck?
So much money.
Last round of the half. Juicy wants that contact.
What a timing.
Gate crash expired, so needs to refresh it.
Juicy के पास ये op है, COFAT के पास Odin और op दोनों हैं.
Tends to be here. Juicy might end up walking into his line. That'll mean the turret can take contact for him.
Holy shit.
Inching ever closer.
Nah.
Neither player wanting to blink first.
Holy shit भाई, दोनों बैठे हैं भाई.
Check back in with that one. Maybe this gets out. Okay, why is he caught inside it? Something sensitive by the looks of things, but a relay ball catches Lysor in main. Off the line in B. No encounter there, but Rushi has dealt with him. That's your controller down. Midway through the round, Levi's eventually wins that encounter. That's the opping Yoru drop.
Mid Kali.
Trying to rotate him, but K-Knight is
Jaldi jao,
please. Billy have done enough to get this B plant.
That was such a fast maneuver from BLG to get over to this B site.
भाई कितना अच्छा clear up किया भाई B पे.
Smokes from Rusha, no dark cover to protect them when they had to cross through mid. But K-Knight wins that duel and Levius cracks the site open. What a high impact kill on that lurk. 200's
Furies in the pocket for both sides. Okay, here comes the attack side one first. K-Knight looking to scout, see where this retake might originate from. He's found nothing.
Obviously कुछ मिला नहीं.
And then make the play instantly into Boathouse. This is looking dangerous. Already
oh,
hit. Lysor handled those springs, trying to get ahead of the action. It's all Unsufat now. Standout player for Wolves.
He can't do shit, bro. He was a killer.
And then we get to the end of the half, Billy.
Damn, भाई. 5-7 हो गया अब. Still, huge comeback. Billy ने 2 round लगातार निकाल लिया.
Could be a nightmare to play against, and they've really done a great job.
YZ and Sufat headlining the fight so far between these two. It's a 2-round gap.
But इनके पास वो ये देखने वाली बात है कि इनके पास 2 central थे, and still 7-5 हुआ. तो या टैबोलिकल डिसोसिएशन तो चल रही है, वो तगड़ी वाली। आई विल बैक इन अ मिनट, तब तक चालू भी हो जाएगा।
महंगाई बढ़ती जा रही है, भिंडी अब 100 रुपए किलो हो गई है और प्याज की तो पूछो ही मत।
Coming back just ahead of the round 13 in this first map, we've got your Coinbase econ report for you. A couple of players we really want to highlight as individuals that are getting max value out of every credit they spend. That is obviously what our econ rating is designed to display, just how efficient you are.
By the way, भाई ये जो song पीछे चल रहा है ना,
about here, I think quite has big impact, has the performance you expect as Neon on this Ascent attack side.
It's always interesting to me to see YZ on attack with the econ report because he's so crazy aggro. He's usually
ये बताएं यहीं पे सुनने पे गाना अच्छा लगता है, तो मगर मतलब नॉर्मली सुनो तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, जनरली बोल रहा हूँ। मैं सुन रहा हूँ ना, मतलब मेरे पास ये सॉन्ग का नाम है, मैं सुनता हूँ, बहुत अजीब लगता
है। Juicy out of some of those entrenched op positions where he's trying to take contact. They played around it very well, and as a result, Juicy has a quieter defense side on this Yori.
It's really the first time in this.
Let's go, bro. Let's see. अब किसको मिलेगा? बुल्स ने इतना तगड़ा वाला निकाला था, क्या वापस से वैसे निकल पाएगा? Damn भाई, दोनों शॉक डैट लगे इनको।
Big damage taken by Lysor early, but it's YU pushing down Speedway. Look at the pace here from Wolves. We talked about them adapting to go a bit more up tempo. This attack side pistol.
तगड़ा निकाल दिया ब्रो।
Left just caught.
क्या कर रहे हैं लोग?
In his grasp, and YZ takes a little bit too long to find that kill. Allows Spring a third. Now he's gonna have to do it in a 1v4.
We said his name.
Next stream,
Spring is up here in this round. He gets
बिजी है वैसे, निकाल तो सकता है एक दो को तो।
Paranoia connecting for an easy kill on lane to open things up feels absolutely impossible for YZ here. There's no way this should be winnable.
But still, try तो करना चाहिए।
Right, they'll be starting to hound at YZ in the next few moments, and he knows he has neither the time nor the wherewithal to clear out Wolves. And there's the pistol picked up by the attack side.
And even in just this first round, you're going to see something that will become a consistent theme if Wolves are able to get into the sites pretty much, you know, I'm not going to say for free, but if they can get into the sites easily and then get all of the Sentinel utility down, Deadlock will thrive on attack when she's alive, she's in the site. You can get that barrier mesh, which is usually going to be used at the door, which it was in that round. You get your sonic sensors placed as well. Those are the situations where she's going to be high impact on attack, or, you know, syncing up some of those grav nets.
And normally the double sentinel composition in the past with Jet was pretty flashlight and had to use that controller util to take map space, but we know that Juicy comes packing a couple of flashes. Billy have opted for a pretty far forward B main presence. Maybe look towards mid. Control this space with these more appropriate longer range weapons as Juicy draws a bead on YZ's approximate location.
Here. Wolves just opting to take things nice and slow, absorb any potential early aggression that may have come from the BLG side, but they're playing fairly spread at the moment, not going for a gamble stack.
Does K-Knight dare to push ahead of an Owl drone if it comes out? Cam, cleared. K-Knight trying to back off. It's going to get a little bit uncomfortable for him. Oh, Barty, he and Levius take an absolute beating. Now, of course, that smoke over towards that CT side. And we're going to see the walls explode out of B main. Gravnet looks like it did catch up one or more players. And there it is, Juicy. Eventually catches Neff.
30 seconds left.
Cutting them off there. Just going to call for the rest of the team to maneuver towards this A side. Only Rusha. Stuck
Okay.
right now. Are they going to check this? Yes, they do.
Damn.
YU.
क्या round निकाल रहे bro?
YU. The opener in the pistol round looks great there.
Nice.
YZ belatedly gets to the party. Wolves now distribute 3 players towards that A main direction, leaving Juicy in the site for this expected retake. But what is there to be done? Billy realized it's going to be pretty hard to get any traction in a situation like this. So they sit back, contemplate. Start a gameplay for these upcoming rounds.
They did invest into a couple sheriffs.
Backstab के लिए भी wait कर रहा है bro.
See how that affects their buy. Oh, they get to the
What a
first time
timing.
round. Oh, that is
Oh!
brutal for Sufat. No one watching his back.
Lysol trapped here.
Was.
No way.
Oh no.
Lysol completes the kill contract. Levy's with the drop on them.
Damn.
This has gotten a bit ugly for Wolves. From an economic standpoint, not nearly as clean as they wanted.
पैसा नहीं बचा bro.
Bizarre way to try and exit the round. Things getting so scrambled for Wolves, not playing together. Trying to get out tree really
वो
late.
सब buy भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. बिली के पास full buy है.
I mean, Sufat was for a time watching towards that gelato direction, but like I said, it's a YZ catch a timing on him. It's a stranger Red Bull clutch, I will admit. Because the way was paved early by Wolves in this round very cleanly.
One enemy remaining.
Well, PLG are going to be happy
भाई
with that.
backstab तो था.
What could have been a pretty solid bonus round buy has dwindled to a tragic one.
Backstab तो था.
With a Bucky, a couple pistols. Let's see if Juicy can do something with this Guardian. Gravnet, they want to catch someone early in B main. Looks like they want to accelerate too, but the Mollies will keep them at bay temporarily.
K-Knight caught here by the paranoia
Pyara.
by Logs, and here comes Wolves again with his weaker bonus buy. Need to make something happen. Levius with a quick spray down for 2. YZ faces down the Bucky and comes off arguably second best.
1v1.
And that's a gun recovered by Spring. No info on where Rushia is though. Now he knows he can look over towards spawn side. And he's
Damn.
It's ridiculous, Wolves. Hey,
Sheesh भाई क्या निकाल रहे हैं भाई. दोनों Chinese team जानती हैं कौन कहाँ क्या
stood
बैठता
up
है.
after that. I can't blame them. It was a cool B site execute. Even with the Bucky of Spring teleport
मगर
into that
बैठता
dark
कौन है भाई
hole,
वहाँ पे?
swinging out. Juicy gets one trade there.
लेवियस ने 2 को मारा उसके बाद से कुछ दिखाई नहीं मुझे पूरे राउंड में.
Very end there, Sufat continuing his reign of terror on this map, swings out instantly. I mean, there's just no good reason they should be winning that, but they connect some sick shots. I know, it's hilarious with Spring teleporting it with a Bucky.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And this is now
जरूरत थी भाई
dangerous
टाइम
for
आउट
Billy
की.
Billy. That's the round where they want to start to build that defense side momentum, but this gets Wolves to 10 rounds and a robust economy to boot.
I'm still a little bit stunned that they won that. Remember when Billy took all their guns away on round 2 because Wolves kind of tossed, and they still win with that really bad bonus buy.
It's like 2 ghosts, a Bucky, Spectres in there.
शीश भाई
Bizarre.
क्या ही बोलूं.
Absolutely bizarre.
कुछ भी
scenes,
जी
but
जा
they
रहे bro
asked
वो
it to
लोग.
be that, frankly, Billy just aren't able to respond to adequately. And yeah, they flash themselves up through the smoke. Neff tries to get involved out from defense side spawn. Only able to find the one after Levius kind of paves the way. Sprays down 2 with a Vandal. They can't springboard off of that into a strong
बहुत ही
position.
important round for Billy
An
Billy.
outlaw there for why you may be reconsidering.
अभी
In
नॉन
general,
इको
the
कर रहे
weaponry
हैं
is looking pretty darn
Fuck,
good.
anti-eco कर रहे हैं.
For Juicy.
Damn important round है फिर तो.
Fairly significant buy out of this, but the bonus cash,
Now let's
the
see.
round loss bonus is pretty out of control right now. So BLG can afford to get a fair half buy into this. Recon going to near close mid, broken by YZ, and they're actually going to leave.
Okay, थोड़ा तो idea मिल गया इनको.
Really deep right there.
Just an alarm bot to catch this. K-Knight trying to play on it.
Wow, nice.
Takes that contact. It's going to be traded
Okay.
out. Good enough for Wolves for now. shrug off the relay bolt.
They can't do shit.
This B
Inside
side. No
will
smoke
go
over towards defense side though. Something YZ could capitalize on, and here comes the overdrive. He takes a lot of damage in that encounter, but takes YU off the map. Still 3 rifles active for Wolves, and they've got Sufat on the side for a plant. Here comes that controller util now.
That was such a strange cage from YU. It helped the other team more than it helped him. Double flank coming right now through B main. Wolves have fully pivoted towards the site. They could get overwhelmed. This is dangerous, but Spring!
Sonic sensor there in market, I think, forced Rushia back.
Oh my god, bro.
He's on for 4! 2 bloody goods!
क्या कर रहा है?
And Billy with that awkward buy.
क्या मार रहा है, bro?
We're on our feet. Blood is flowing. And Wolves are 2 rounds away from stealing Billy's map pick.
Spring started so low on defense, but has accelerated to 100 miles per hour on attack. He's now tied for the most kills.
मारा तो है, bro.
Wolves. Can't believe he was able to get that double spray down. The players rushing out of B main together. Feels like nothing can go wrong for Wolves, even when it starts. When you start seeing them on the precipice of disaster after YU goes down to YZ with the weird cage play. All right, Billy, they're on their full buy now after that half.
Cutting through. Might be the last best chance here to stabilize in this map.
Okay, idea तो है, कोई तो है मत पे.
Now they're playing catch up. Juicy patient on this, suppressed as he was. Flashes into tree, gate crash.
Wow.
Not able to find him. Juicy barely takes any damage there as well.
So as all that utility gets right back to the pack in B main. Drone going to clear things out close. They know that they're safe to start moving into the site. YZ, he wants to fight right now. Relay bolt will cause some serious delay.
A lot of stall util coming out here. White Wolves might need to reconsider. In the past, they've stuck too close to that first plan A they've had and been unable to
Spring
from B with the insert of YU left behind. But YZ sees him cross mid. He can't do anything about it though.
Spring had popped that from the shadows to go to A main. Wolves are keeping their options open. That has fully insulted the entire team from BLG. They've bought it. They've all gone to heaven. What a call from Sufat. Pivoting back to B now. Free open sight.
5 pairs of ankles snap clean off with these map rotations. Why Billy limping to respond.
Oh my god.
The map and YU fells knife through markets.
And now he just needs to get out of dodge, get back into B main. Spike is being planted by Sufat, means the Hunter's Fury is ready to go when the retake is coming in. They need to get YU here. Great reposition from Juicy. He's going to hold the cross, try and protect his teammate.
YU tucked. Surely heard some of this.
Okay, आवाज सुनाई दे रही
Oh, what a shot! YZ slides on in, immediately decapitated. Sufat, he wants some information, so the Hunter's Fury comes out and Rushia was caught as he made his way down.
2v2, TV2.
Looks like he was caught up inside that Sonic sensor though, and Lyso has a grab net where that came from. Now to play off this slowing util. Levius and Neff, time not on their side. They have to make a move. A tap on the spike, and Sufat tries to deliver. He'll cut Neff down to 34, and Lyso just needs to be patient. No time for BLG. And that's map point for Wolves.
They've done it again. What a mid-round call from
Sufat.
From the shadows that was used to get Spring over into Wine.
कितने थोड़े जीत रहे हैं ब्रो. बट दोनों अपनी जान लगा रहे हैं.
They kept their options open. They pivot back to the open site.
बट थोड़े जीते पूरा मैच ही जीत गए भाई. पता भी नहीं चला.
What a beautiful call.
पता भी नहीं चला भाई. मैच ही जीत गए.
Right now, still topping the board for his team. He's putting work in with the kills.
Billy hemorrhaging as a result. No round wins on this defense side. No chance to breathe, to stabilize, to take stock of things. Again, they're thrown into it. As Wolves are knocking on the door of A.
Okay, ult आ गया.
Dimensional drift going to get all the information on the site for Wolves. They are fully stacked up, wanting to get through A main. How do BLG respond? Do they stay entrenched?
He's sticking it. Rushi there does get the ping. He knows that Wolves are up on him, but how is he going to get some breathing room here? Juicy just overloads it. Brute force solution to the problem.
Damn,
I don't even know how he killed Sufat. All right, Wolves routed because of that.
भाई ये साल्ट ने कितना बचाया है भाई इनको.
Deep on the map right now.
Still कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते भाई. It's a 3v4.
Dark cover is going to cut off Levius. Does he want to get
भाई भी नहीं है ढंग का इनके पास.
Knight doesn't have recon. He can't light this up for Levius. He's going to have to be flying blind, literally shooting in the dark. Spring Gets off the plant now, aware that there's a player caught inside this wall. Lennius has got nowhere to go. He's stuck there.
He's boxed. He can't even move.
And it's on YZ for the game.
तोड़ना था भाई.
Map pick of Billy. They won 13-4 against Wolves last time they played. But this is a different Wolves, a different pace, a different gear, a different level.
शीश भाई.
They are just
बहुत मारा भाई. तोड़ के मारा भाई.
They look fantastic.
But YC ने निकाला है भाई. YC और इससे ज़्यादा नहीं निकाल सकता था.
Dispatch! And Wolves with the answer! Gauntlet thrown at Billy. You want to pick this map?
Nice.
Fine. We'll not give you any attack side rounds.
And bear in mind, the last time these two teams faced in that lower final in their qualifying run, it was a sweep 3-0 for BLG. And here Wolves have swung right back, stealing away their map pick.
We're going to step away for a moment. Up next, Yinsu and our analyst desk are going to break down this map number 1 of Ascent and set our sights on our second map of Split.
Holy shit. बहुत मारा भाई. बहुत ज़्यादा मारा भाई. बहुत तगड़ा मारा उल्टा. Oh my god, bhai. I can't play TDM today because Riot client नहीं चल रहा है मेरा.
Let me show you how to focus up. Oh man, I was just getting warmed up.
Spike defused.
अभी हाँ ये भी आ रहा है ना. EWC भी बहुत जल्दी आ रहा है ना.
Red Bull gives you wings.
भाई बहुत मारा भाई. Genuinely.
Welcome back, everybody. Between maps, we do have fans from WOLS and from BLG. Give them a hand. Give them a hand, please. And now, just like last time, just like yesterday, actually, we're going to make sure here. I'm going to explain the rules this time around because I'm learning from my mistakes day after day. So we are going to play rock, paper, scissors. Do we know the gist of what rock, paper, scissors is? We're going to go on shoot, right? Okay? So before we start, please select your agent. Please get together, see who's going to be your champion to go at toe-to-toe in this rock, paper, scissors. Again, it is rock, paper, scissors, shoot, okay? We got this? Crowd, Toronto, we got this? Perfect. Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, let's go. We'll do this quick. So we'll do a best of 3. So who do we have?
Marcus.
Marcus and? Ripley. All right. Good luck, gentlemen. Please go head-to-head here, and we're going to get ready on shoot, okay? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Okay, that's a tie. Oh, where I'm getting trolled again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! That's a shaky hand. What are we doing here? Is this... Okay, that's a close. So we got one over here. One more. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! That's a tie. Man, that hand's shaking. Are we nervous? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Oh, 2-0 here. Congratulations, Ripley. Still, you guys still have some participation prizes. Let's get the flag from Billy signed up over here. And also this sign from Wolves. Thank you so much. Right fist bump. I learned from this one as well. Right fist bump. Right fist bump. Let's head on to the next other game.
Okay, बेचारा ट्राई कर रहा है यार बेचारा. नर्वस हो गया यार. कोई ना, होता है. कोई ना ब्रू. Bum 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 bum.
Hello everyone, Jen Lee here with Coach Fade. Fade, congratulations on Ascent. I gotta ask you about the double sentinels on that map. Was this specifically to stop YZ's Neon, or is this something that just happened to have worked in your favor with the new meta?
I'm the founder of the double sentinel Ascent comp, so it's just my comp.
Alright, thank you for your insights. Good luck.
That's my coach right there. That's my coach. I'm back again here on the desk, joined by Ender and Mel after map 1. I personally did not expect that kind of performance.
Have you seen this one? Bhai, kitni baar ye poster leke aate bande?
It was crazy that Wolves are running away with it, but the way the rounds actually themselves played out, that was kind of the expectation, especially early on. There are so many rounds that are coming down, just 1v1 clutch moments towards the end that Wolves are just getting the better hand on.
I was honestly shocked at how the first half really panned out in favor, I would say, in Wolves, even though it was only 5 rounds for them, because they took a thrifty, and that thrifty could 100% shift the momentum of the game, but they somehow came back and got 5 rounds on the defense and had a really, really good looking attack from my perspective.
Yeah, the momentum shift was kind of crazy in that game. Now, let's talk about this HyperX reflex moment of the day, and it goes to Lysor, who had a lot of tough moments, I think, after that loss mill. The fans were really not very nice about his opening a debut on the stage.
And I mean, what better way than to show up like this? We were talking about it earlier on the desk. There's so much pressure on him.
हर बार jump करके कैसे मार लेते bro?
I believe in you. Like, you are capable of these things, and he's showing it.
Guys just playing whack-a-mole right there. Sees the little head, knocks him down. I love too that Lysor was just constantly standing up after a big play like that. Not doing anything else. Just like, yeah, I did that.
I love how Suba is always so hyped for these teammates too. Like,
after we lost, my bros helped me a lot. They said to me, Lysor, you need to believe in your capabilities and the level you are at. I'm so grateful. अरे वही तुम लोग को भी पढ़ना है तो फिर मुझे क्यों मैं क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ?
The change in confidence and the importance of having an IGL and teammates that actually lift you up when you lose.
And I like the fact that Wolves is really not putting too much pressure on themselves. They're just kind of focusing on themselves and their own team, blocking out the noise. I know similar in the press conference, Siofat himself was saying, I don't really hear the doubters. I don't really hear too much from them. I have my game speak for itself on the stage.
And here's the thing, and the map didn't start badly off for Billy at all. So what happened?
The second half happened, unfortunately. Wolves just run away with it.
The second half happened.
And it came by abusing this B site early on. They win the pistol. Spring has a 3K in that one, I think. And then he has a couple of just absolutely insane rounds.
BLG तो निकाल ही नहीं पाए भाई. चौथे राउंड के बाद पता नहीं क्या हो गया था.
The clutches as well.
Exactly.
The plays were just crazy. I heard, the audience in here, they were on their feet as well, and they gave them something to cheer about.
And keep in mind, this is the bonus for Wolves. They come into the site and they were using these Cypher cages so nicely on their execs, both to block off some space and also to get some TPs.
भाई वो blind कितना अच्छे से try किया था.
With this shotgun, he TP'd up into market, it comes back, wins out this clutch in the 1v2, and then immediately in the next round as well. There's a flank coming in. He's not even looking at that angle first, but he snaps over and again gets 4 kills in a row to win this out.
And I think a big part of that is the calling as well, getting them into these positions where Spring has opportunities, right? Getting him into that post-plant spot. Although in the 1v1, Bomb wasn't quite down yet, but in the second example, it was looking really good. There were so many intricacies, and I loved the double fakes especially that we were seeing.
Exactly, because we saw like those 4 rounds, those early rounds of just showing B hit after B hit after B hit. And then that next round, Mel, they were using the Omen ult to make those fakes happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool to see where they faked B and then the Omen ult into Wine, faking A. And you look on the minimap, all 5 players of Billy completely sold on the fake.
They ate
a completely open B site for Wolves.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start for Wolves. Now, I'm going to get a little bit worried for Billy because we are going to split. And a couple of times at least I watched their split. And it's a little bit tragic.
Yeah, it was looking tough. I mean, even if you just look at the last time BLG played Wolves on this map, this is a map that was going Wolves' way. And I think that Wolves have actually really liked to play this map. Again, they take a lot of these slow rounds, their lurks and their pivots, their cutbacks through mid. Like we saw that last game of switching up between the sites has been very effective at beating teams like BLG in the past.
I mean, they even pick split into Sentinels. And I mean, I'm from America, right? Like, we see Sentinels play split so many many times. They're a historical team on the map, and still Wolves pick it into them. And honestly, in my opinion, despite the loss, have a great showing.
If there's one man that might have the answer into this, it is going to be Coach Bale. This is what he had to say ahead of Map 2.
Hello everyone, Jen Lee here with Coach Bio. Coach, you 3-0'd this team back in CN, but in Masters it seems like we have a new meta and a very different pace to the game. So what do you think is going to be different today compared to the regional matchup against the Wolves? 감독님, 3대 0이라는 스코어로 울부즈를 상대로 중국 리그에서는 승리를 거뒀는데 마스터즈에서는 메타도 많이 다르고 페이스도 많이 달라진 것 같거든요. 지난번에 만났을 때에 비해서 어떤 점이 가장 달라질 것
भाई
같으신가요?
कितनी ज़्यादा फ्लुएंट लैंग्वेज है ब्रो.
울부즈 선수들이 그 전에 CN 리그하고 다르게 마스터즈 오고 나서 좀 선수들 개인기량도 많이 올라온 것 같고 팀워크적으로도 많이 올라왔고 일단 상대 선수들이 일단 침착함을 되게 굉장히 잘 유지하는 것 같아요. 그에 반해서 저희 선수들은 뭔가 좀 많이 끌려다닌 것 같아가지고 저희가 주도권을 좀 잡고 게임하자고 지금 계속 얘기를 해서 아마 그래도 스플릿은 좀 변하지 않을까 싶습니다.
Well, yeah, when it comes to Wolves, you know, they stepped up huge compared to how they were in CN League. In terms of their mentality, they were able to keep it cool and keep their composure. And they also had a really, really good form. And when it comes to us in our first map, we just felt like we had no control. So we talked about how to gain more map control and staying calm in the second map. And I think we can put up better performance in map 2. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
उसी चीज की ज़्यादा
They
नीड
don't
है
have a
अभी.
choice. They have to bring something better for map 2.
बहुत
Otherwise,
ज़्यादा
and
नीड है
they
ब्रो
will be
अभी.
eliminated and they won't have a chance even to go to playoffs.
Yeah, then that would be a big shock coming in as the number 2 seed out of China. But the split map will be interesting, I think, because of the questions around what Bilibili Gaming are actually going to be playing. Because previously playing it in VCTCN versus Wolves, they were of course playing the Tejo. But since then, we've had seen them actually play it one time versus Trace in Asia Champs League.
क्या भी थोड़ा सा elevated game देखने को मिले BLG से. हालांकि मालूम है मुझे.
Sky.
Yeah. Right.
Is that what we're seeing? I mean, they just
what the fuck?
Wow. It is what we're going to see. How much map control can they gain with this? Because that's what Coach Bale was talking about.
Well, I think similar actually to composition, both these teams have that double controller and the sentinel, so you should be seeing a lot of lurks coming out from both teams. And Bilibili, I mean,
double
I'm gonna
controller.
be honest, whole logic here would point to a Wolves
Busy
slam
race,
dunk on
juicy
the
race.
really does not have a good record.
Holy
I
shit!
think what I'm keeping my eyes on is how impactful Sky's
भाई
Nef's mid-round info can be on the Sky pick. They're starting on defense. They know about.
To be honest, Sky से बहुत info निकल सकती है भाई. Rather than Fate.
Trying to explode the B site.
Fate से ज़्यादा बहुत ज़्यादा info निकल सकती है भाई.
Sky से. Gaps in their defense, or Wolves are going straight through the Swiss stage.
Yeah, and they would be making history if they do here. They've never been to a global event before. They've never obviously made a playoffs before. So Uber and Wire, this is going to be a good one.
Let's see, bro.
Considered by many the least likely team to make it into playoffs here in Toronto is one map away from doing just that. And Juicy said after the last 7 years and all he's been through, his drive, his climb to this very stage, it means so much to him. How much more incredible to make it into the playoffs in that debut globally.
ना इसके लिए सबसे बड़ा प्रेज मैं यही दे सकता हूँ कि बुलबुलिया 3 जीतनी खराब नहीं है.
बहुत अडल्ट ह्यूमर पे रिलाय बहुत ज़्यादा अडल्ट ह्यूमर यार, मतलब और अनवांटेड अडल्ट ह्यूमर. इट इज लाइक कि आपके मुंह पे फेंक दे रहे हैं, व्हिच इज नॉट इवन रिक्वायर्ड. वो जैसे वो डेड बॉडी को पकड़ के रखा है कि वो किस कर रही है उसको
ओ भाई, ओ माय गॉड.
Just converting on their map choice.
Okay.
That's what needs to happen.
Nice read, to be honest. B खाली है पूरा.
Battered a little bit there. He pops up into mid early on, but it might be Wolves opting to play around this lurk wall at B.
Mid पे 3 player कर क्या रहे हैं, bro?
Just going to fall back, but send
जो भी कर रहे हैं, बढ़िया कर रहे हैं.
Sufa IGL remains in
dark
cover in B main. Walk down from YZ solo in mid. This is dangerous. He could get caught.
Oh, the timing was pretty good for the spring just after the kill comes from the Trailblazer.
Nice.
But YZ at least is able to react to complete the kill.
मैं पहले बता दूं, मैं BLG सपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ, बट वुल्स भी पसंद है मुझे. ठीक है, तो जनरली कोई भी जीते मुझे अच्छा लगेगा, बट BLG को मैंने अपने पिक एंड्स में रखा है. दिक्कत ये भी है.
Just going to damage up like sword. 30 seconds.
So it's like 55-45. 35% BLG. Nice. Blind है भाई वो अंधा है. Oh. CFAT का तो मालूम नहीं इन लोग को. Okay मालूम है. Never mind.
Things just getting entirely disconnected for Wolves. I imagine at some point they wanted to try to get back through vents on account of their IGL super just still being entrenched on
Vent से try तो किया bro. But वहाँ पे कोई बैठा हुआ था पहले
से. The full stack rotation over to A, denying them with a Viper wall, that nade keeping them at bay. Crucially, YZ finds the opener. This is the map the last time he's
अब PRX का क्यों लगा के रखा है भाई उसने गन?
Wolves took it.
And Wolves ने EDG की गन्स क्यों लगा के रखी? भाई अपनी अपनी टीम की गन्स क्यों नहीं लगाते ये लोग?
Oh, they know how to beat Wolves, but do they know how to beat them on this map?
Even Sentinel struggled with this attack side from Wolves, but they got to dictate the pace. Marshall's shot, Swayze spraying him off. Haphazard has to back away. Catches YZ though as he steps a little too far.
What the fuck?
YZ got that paint shell elimination. Pretty devastating impact from the duelist on ramps. Leaves Wolves down to their last two players. Scavenging the Marshall. Spring inside his poison orb is hoping for a pot shot. And he's got nothing to see as it clears.
But ये तो clear करना ही पड़ेगा.
Double stacked up on BLG. They should make light work of this situation.
Easy.
They do. We're dropping a couple players.
अब बस इसको maintain कर ले बहुत बड़ी बात है.
भाई वो उसका मुंह उसके chest पे चला जाता है.
अरे वो तो फिर भी ठीक है. चलो चला गया उसके बाद जब वो kiss कर रहे हो तो घुमा के भाई lip kiss करवा दिया उसको.
इसीलिए मैंने बोला कि क्या मुझे मूवी पसंद आई नहीं पर क्या मजा आया. तो चलो.
They got 13-1 by Trace. They lost to this very 13-8 in that upper bracket semi, so historically it's not favoured them, but this is the perfect start to turn the tides.
This is going to take everything they've got left in the tank.
बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है.
Going to need to put on an all-star
ये round दोनों टीम से बहुत important है.
To the playoffs, he knows what it takes. He's been there before. So is K Knight against a Wolves team trying to make this kind of run for the very first time.
Got an audio issue down on stage.
Okay.
Rectified momentarily. Just the run. I mean, there's a lot of history between these two teams. We definitely delved into that at the start of this game. But the fact that BLG, in order to get here to Toronto, had to take the
किसकी दिक्कत है bro? मुझे लग रहा है कि उस साइड में दिक्कत हुई थी.
To shock the world, frankly, that we'd be looking at an event that they wouldn't be present at, considering how not so long ago they stood at the top of the world. That speaks volumes about the depth that's starting to develop in the Chinese region, and the fact that we have two teams from China still alive in this Swiss stage, still fighting for their playoff spot, speaks volumes. And remember, Big Brother Shilai Gaming awaits in those playoffs as well.
Let's see.
We're in for a treat in this game, and we're going to see much more Chinese Valorant.
भाई अभी तो Chinese best team को देखा ही नहीं हम लोग ने. वो तभी wait ही कर रही है.
How good Shilai Gaming are waiting, watching this Swiss stage. Some absolutely sick.
XLG तो wait ही कर रही है bro अभी. XLG तो आई नहीं है.
Tearing up the entire
वो आएगी तो
this year.
अलग ही मारेगी bro.
Raga, who humbly says he thinks he's the worst duelist here in Toronto.
Which my humble king.
It smacks of sandbagging, but
Ain't no way, but my humble king.
I will allow it. But again, with these two teams showing us what number 2 and 3 seeds from China can provide, only gets you more excited, only whets your appetite for what awaits us later on this week. But for now,
let's go.
Let us deal with the smorgasbord in front of us. Heading to the first bye for Wolves as Billy want to secure a
Let's see, bro. बेड क्लियर कर रहे भाई. तुम मिड पे क्यों नहीं रहते? दो बंदे क्यों नहीं रहते मिड पे भाई?
Close up some of these angles.
उनके पास बाय भी नहीं उल्टा.
Over towards B main. Is keeping Wolves at back towards mid engagement from YU and
nice. पीछे आ गए.
Taking that just collects the orb happily, one away from the showstopper. Keep your eyes on that. If he can find a kill somewhere, please get scrappy. He could win this round for the team.
Solid reception by Knight.
Okay, 3v3. But gun भी नहीं उनके पास तो.
The one to emerge from the dust cloud in mid.
अभी Wolves का advantage है. Let's see.
to give him a little bit more of an
एडवांटेज का फायदा उठा पाएंगे
are arranged.
अगर अभी पकड़ लिया भाई
Currently pressing up towards A main. If you look at that on the mini map, that's going to keep BLG interested towards timing. This side of the map, wow, they're rotating through mid right now. YU just catches the first and Sufat turns
fuck
around.
भाई
Billy getting way too happy to explore on the map.
30 seconds
Damn.
left.
And that call, instead to explore the extremities further, but to bolster that mid-presence for Wolves, pays off beautifully. It sees YU emerge on the perfect timing to unsync them. This leaves YZ in a position, paint shell still at hand. Sufat relatively low.
Easily निकाल लिया bro.
For even the best in this situation. I count YZ among them. He too feels that
चल भाई
discretion might be
save
the better
round.
part of valor here.
Easy.
They have to fight another day.
दिक्कत पता है क्या है दोनों टीम्स इतना ज्यादा पढ़ चुकी इतनी बार खेल चुकी 7 बार लगातार एक दूसरे से खेल चुके भाई So what do you expect with the team भाई they know how they know their comms they know the strategies
And maybe it's a nervousness about
so बहुत छोटी-छोटी चीज में जीत रहे bro दोनों
it's just
teams
YZ sat in there in heaven instead of sort of rotating through spawn through the back part of the map they think that they're safe with two players crossing mid together, and in theory you'd be considered reasonable for that decision. It blows up in their face though.
BLG headed to their full buy. This was some good trades back and forth. Levy is popping out of that smoke to get the second. Sufat the exact same. Things even.
I mean, Sufat has to respond very quickly to that.
बहुत ही easy जीते भाई वो बैक स्टेप अगर कामयाब हो जाता ना भाई जनरली मजा आ जाती
Here's the full buy from BLG. Max investment. Still, it's this showstopper that YZ is on the precipice of collecting. He is playing over towards ramp right now, solo. Wolves, no emphasis on mid. They wanted to pressure towards B main early.
Okay, now let's see.
And now
अब मिड पे आ गए पहले जब बोल रहा था तुम मिड पे नहीं गए थे
aware that that's the kind of play YZ will be absolutely happy to make.
There is a
छोड़ दिया भाई
amount of utility to play through as attackers on this A side. Wolves, we saw them with the double sentinel composition. Billy played into that well, sort of clearing it slowly. Now they're in a position where they've got to do something much the same.
भाई मजबूर करते भाई Wolves
to play off of and YZ was drawn out of mid back to sort of reinforce this position
मिड पे 4 बंदे बैठे भाई
that might be Wolves finding a golden opportunity
कोई पुष्टि कर रहा है एक दूसरे पे
They are taking their time pivoting back towards mid. YU had thrown a really deep trip towards A heaven, so I don't know if anyone's walking up on that side of the map, but the defensive cam is getting info there.
वापस से
starting to increase with the tempo. Juicy is getting into vents right now. We'll take an engagement.
Oh my!
Showstopper immediately developed and Lysol
प्यारा भाई.
YZ getting away with everything there. Levy's is pushed up now. Net closing on Sufat is able to deal with YZ with time.
Damn.
It would have been a struggle for them to get anywhere on the map after that.
अब तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते भाई.
Awkward.
सेव भी कर ले भाई.
YU just wants to try and keep his gun. Can't blame him. That is brutal stuff. YZ pops up yet again to the detriment of the attackers.
That timing is just going to have Juicy sick to his stomach.
Sheesh, bhai.
That just milliseconds away from him getting an easy kill with YZ on the rope. It's an early timeout call from Fade.
लेना भी चाहिए bro.
When he was going for timeouts, had significant
In my
impact.
thinking लेना चाहिए. बढ़िया.
Began to go on runs against Sentinels, kept that map so close. Almost had the most unlikely upset win to open the tournament for them.
So the dynamic, the last time we saw Wolves, for example, on this split map, with a lot of action over towards B, right? Sentinels really wanted to push in, take the B main control. They were trying to set Zekin up. Spring was finding really good opportunities actually just to win straight up duels against that Sentinels Yoru. Here though, Wolves have not been emphasizing that B part of the map really at all. We've seen Spring try and get that poison orb far forward, sort of past that B main choke, but there's been no fighting for that part of the map at all yet.
दिक्कत तो ये दोनों टीम्स अपने एक दूसरे में समझ नहीं रही है.
Wolves definitely feeling like it's time for a bit of a change.
But दोनों कॉम्स इतने ज़्यादा पढ़ चुके हैं ना भाई कि इनको खुद भी मालूम होगा क्या बेस्ट है क्या नहीं है. लाइक कितनी बार खेलोगे एक 10 दोनों चाइना की टीम से भाई दोनों ने सीएन में कितना ज्यादा साथ में खेला भाई जनरली 4-7 बार बोला इन लोग ने दोनों पढ़ के बैठे हो भाई
just need to not overcommit to rotates. That's what Sen were falling for often because you just wouldn't expect Wolves to pivot back to B with the low time remaining that they do. How common they actually, will opt to do that on
Okay, now let's see.
Not so much of the pace.
पता नहीं क्यों मुझे जम्बाई बहुत आ रही है.
Against Heretics more recently though, this has definitely been more methodical.
भाई साहब.
Looks like B was the call, in fact.
Just going to throw up that poison cloud, so Sufat can likely get onto this orb. It's just one away from the knife.
Oh!
Love to have that, but we're spring down there.
Cover going
great
opportunities.
They fully invested into this.
Rushia had the perfect location there to punish that poison orb. Found a gap just above it.
Gun मिल गई.
Look to struggle a bit. That slow momentum, converting those 4v5s has been really challenging for them.
This is interesting. That's a unique double face. Juicy wins a 1v1 against YC.
Holy shit.
That's going to be a boost, no doubt about it. YUC's Neff, there's no opportunity for a swing. Levius remain hidden. YU lingers in mid though, wants to take this fight. Really trying to get into heaven, I think, with some burst of momentum. And Lysor opens up an opportunity at the B side. That is massive. Now it's K-Knight.
Winnable.
Who doesn't quite know really if the plan is to stick to B, but Lysor's going to reveal the intent of Wolves now. YU wants to keep this Cypher as busy as possible for as long as possible. And
oh my god, bro.
The bread basket will take the round away. Wolves can't feel good. And that's a 4v5 conversion we were saying that was sorely missing.
Heroic play from YU in mid.
Gee,
Juicy gets that initial 1v1 kill here against YC. What a snap as well. I mean, I like the idea, swinging while the Trailblazer is running out, but the snap is sickening. He called out the importance of that 1v1 win with YU taking his time. Such high impact.
So how do you build off this foundation? Gonna buy here for Wolves. The look towards B this time paid off, albeit not in the way we thought it would. There was a mid opportunity that was capitalized on.
Okay.
There's a drift here.
Clear up तो आ गया पूरा. Yuka यहाँ पे, oh my god, Yuka नहीं. देखा नहीं.
Over towards A fully. YZ is posted up close with the judge.
Prowler sees it. That's the judge position defeated. YZ has to try and leave it. Boom
Bye, nice. Go ults.
Much still a quick push here from Wolves. Looking for that ramp control now. Post nightfall. It's K-Knight there. Oh, that's right
nice,
to the
bro.
Levius also to his right can assist, but Juicy. Okay, you can't account for those. You can't count on them. That's given Wolves another way into the round.
They want to press forward. Juicy wants to break the crosshairs a little bit ahead of the rest of the pack, but Neff goes back in, wants to find that kill. And now YZ caught with the judge alone, tucked in hell.
No chance to make good use of this weapon in this round, and even here it's awkward. It's long range. Downwind.
30 seconds left.
And Roshi's going to step into this 1v3 with
oh my god.
पीछे
भाई इतना ज़्यादा क्यों push कर रहा है?
And now Wolves, that head of steam that we're looking for on this attack side, starting to build. Great util usage to clear that close angle. They suspect that a judge might be waiting.
थोड़ा सा भी नहीं रुक रहे bro ये
right now. Gets the trade with just the spam through. Well, able to collect this kill. The Neff swinging back out. That is so high risk, and he is absolutely punished for that. Wolves had no other options, by the way. They had no map control elsewhere.
Yep.
For all they know, players can be pushed down mid, wrapping them. They have to commit forward. They can feel themselves potentially being encircled, but they win out all the duels. Rusha early peak. Of course, just with a ghost on this, Eco, Spring, back to doing what we know best from him on this split map, which is just playing B main, taking it over.
This time Russia, though, steps pretty far forward. You can see where the Omen for Billy went down. Spring on a passive line is able to find it.
Russia, भैया कहाँ मर गए?
Juicy man, I'm getting excited about him. Wide. He's been able to find these opportunities in a 4 versus 5.
अबे यार ये बार-बार.
Oh my god. Start from the front. You can see how much better they look here.
Judge क्यों खरीद देता है यार ये बात में?
Cuts them down one after another.
Fuck
Easy B take for Wolves.
अब तो कहीं से रीटेक नहीं हो सकता भाई. बाय भी नहीं इनके पास, गन से नहीं सकते.
Get a couple of these kills.
कुछ है भी नहीं. सीओ फाइट बैठा ही हुआ बैक स्टेप में.
He's nearing just 2 away right now.
Oh, nice one, bro. Nice
gun
one.
recovered. Spring now, with YZ being low, getting topped up here by Neff. A rare case of that healing is relevant.
Oh, nice. But still, trade अच्छा लिया, trade अच्छा लिया.
Multiple consecutive round wins.
गन लेके भागना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. Blind मार के गन ले.
It's only a stinger that Neff would be maintaining. He'd have to cross in the dying seconds, I think, to pick up this rifle, and Juicy does not want to allow for that. But at some point, Wolves have to get out of dodge. They've got to get off the site. Juicy checks it. It's not good enough. Neff finds him flash, eventually handled.
But कोई ना, एक को मार दिया. बहुत important.
Costly, yes, but these attack rounds don't come easy, as we've just seen already.
A fair amount of damage to keep Wolves' economy somewhat honest, but it is Juicy getting the kills and dying. Now having the showstopper for this, they're going to have the Viper's pick.
Anti-brew.
Starting to up, he started to find these kills in B main.
Genuinely.
The kills he's getting. So now they have that
कोई ना.
pretty classic 1-2, get into a site with a showstopper, use the pit for the post plant to win things out. Billy feeling the heat early on. They've seen what Wolves have been able to do on this attack side to high quality opponents like Sentinels.
वापस से टाइम आउट लेते हुए. Obviously लेना ही चाहिए इनको.
Coach Bale is expending these timeouts early. We've seen him be one of the very animated coaches in some of these games. He's shown some serious frustration at times. He's got to hold his nerve. The team has to stay calm.
दिक्कत यही है, बिली उस फॉर्म में खेली थी रे भाई जो नॉर्मली खेलती है.
With spring in B main. That's going to be crucial.
Couple things at the disposal though in a round like this. They've got the classic Viper's Pit in mid play. Force Wolves out to the extremities. Potential for an operator pickup on the defense side. Take that contact at the very extremities, which the Viper's Pit would force the attackers out towards. So couple of things working in Billy's favor in a round where they can equalize the game.
YZ has been playing that A extremity very alone on a lot of these rounds, and Op would definitely help him in a situation like that. And he is going to pick it up. See where he decides to post up B main, so likely hoping to just deal with Spring if that Viper, who has been an absolute nuisance, decides to continue to contact push up.
All right, round number 8 coming at you.
Isolate and
Wolves here already a map in their back pocket. Thinking ahead perhaps just a little to what playoffs would mean.
Okay, कोई aggress करने आएगा sir.
An operator to that B extremity.
I need to know.
Just like we drew it up.
भाई एक दो spam और ये मर जाएगा.
Unbreakable trip as well, which is even more of a nuisance in the pit. Prowler going into it. No way, Juicy just wants to go right through this. Going to force the Viper away. This pit is going to drop. There's absolutely zero chance Levius will be getting back into
But भाई ult करके कैसे?
For Wolves, intentions of splitting onto A. It's looking like, but they can slow things down. They don't need to right now. Going back to what they love to do on split. Spring towards
Mid-ladder.
YU towards A. Go for a late pivot.
This whole approach to the round for Wolves has left YZ kind of stranded with that.
भाई यो को देखा भी नहीं कोई.
It looks like Billy, they want to.
Please check.
Like they need to get some more info on the map. The timing on the cam is so lucky for YU. And off that double push, now Wolves, they want to accelerate, hoping that the B site is going to be a bit lighter. Operator still here. First shot
nice.
By YZ.
Oh, I spoke too soon. YZ gets the action he was hoping for in his round. Rushia on the side, anchors in there. YZ get another one.
Clean shot.
down B.
Has a round collapse all around him.
टाइम आउट ने थोड़ा तो इन लोग को वो दिया भाई. टाइम आउट ने थोड़ा तो भाई समझाया क्या करना चाहिए. Genuinely.
Getting forced after this exploration down ramp onto B, where YZ is patiently awaiting them.
I think that is a good little adaptation out of the timeout as well in the mid-round to try to punish one of the solo players on the extremities. Wolves have been so happy to play 1-3-1s, commit very heavily with the pack towards mid.
वापस से सावे राउंड. Now let's see. क्या होगा, क्या भसड़ू मचाएंगे दोनों. भाई कितना स्लो खेल रहे हैं भाई कितना मिड छोड़ दो भाई मिड एक राउंड
There is a gap. Wisey to exploit. Growlin, of course, is something he's got to respect. Lysol wants to fill that space. He is just vacated. So once more,
वापस से जूसी
mid to ropes control, but Juicy might be quicker about getting up here.
एक मिनट पीछे देखा कि नहीं
They want to take space elsewhere. Multiple players from BLG fighting towards A main. They want to fight.
अबे नहीं ओके बच गए
Bizarre situation.
नहीं
Wisey able to put it out there with a showstopper. Now caught inside that fade.
गन मिल गई सी फैट को
Bizarre round, absolutely ridiculous.
फक भाई थ्रिफ्टी राउंड निकला ना BLG
Maintained by Lysol with an operator of all things.
Spike being planted for him.
Oh, just misses on that shot.
Lysor
Stand out in the first map. At least gets back to safety now, anchored deep in
Damn,
his A side, and it's the loose end of Spring. That could be a problem for the defenders on the retake.
So late, he can just wait by his time, but he wants to face in.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
about that.
2v2
It's just not necessary. It's opened things up for Billy.
अगर आप Lysor ने हगा
Lysol needs to connect this op shot now. They have one chance only.
अब नहीं हगेगा obviously
That leaves it on Levi's desk. Fortunately, in this round, he's feeling more like a paperweight than anything else. Off he goes.
Okay,
And Wolves,
कोई ना ब्रू
it's a ham-fisted, haphazard round, but they fight through ropes into A.
मगर BLG के लिए भी उतना ही मुश्किल होगा भाई
Wisely ripping the showstopper.
थ्रिफ्टी निकल गया है
There in the mid round where Billy after getting all of that pressure
Damn,
through
भाई
mid, no, wait, there's only going to be a light couple players towards that A side. Let's push into them. But in contrast to the last round where it was just
भाई इतना आगे पुश क्यों करना है यार मुझे समझ में नहीं आता
that was Sufat jumping forward with his off recovered as well.
इनके पास एंगल्स रहते हैं इनके पास जगह रहती है बट स्टिल
with just 3
stingers.
I think it might be too much hair.
There.
Otherwise, spot on.
Are you trying to call out the Widow's Peak, bro?
No, I didn't say that. That was you. As a member of the large and in charge forehead club, I would never.
Now it's Juicy with that operator.
Okay, अभी तो
Chilling towards the A side.
फिर से ओपन के पास आ गई है DB किसको है जूसी को
That's left K-Knight rather with a lesser gun, just the stinger playing backside.
भाई ये लोग मिड कंट्रोल छोड़ देते हैं दिक्कत यही है सबसे बड़ी वो बार-बार मिड लग करते हैं भाई वो देखो फिर से 3 बंदे बैठे हुए मिड पे हर बार सेम कॉम
None of that.
ओके भाई मेरे बोलती चेंज कर दिया
Man, again, he makes the opening.
Nice.
Surely some follow-up is there. At least Wolves are able to trade somewhat efficiently into this A side.
That was a slow trade. Juicy getting a little bit disconnected from YU, who needed to win that duel and does come up.
अबे जूसी के पास ऑप थी ना
They risk this. They need to find a kill somewhere, but Spring on this lurk timing.
Their economy
ऑप उठा रहे
it's teetering in this time.
Oh,
the timing. Rolls are reversed and Spring delivers for Flying 2. Knight handled all too comfortably. Wolves extend that lead to 2.
BLG were hoping to find him alone back in A main. Not expecting
a
late
BLG
wrap through the vent all the way back through ramp. This is not the kind of lurk that Spring has gone for. Yeah, in this half.
दिक्कत सबसे बड़ी यही है भाई
coming from A main.
Oh, the heel turn.
Holy shit. क्या चल रहा है भाई
BLG, they are relegated to a bad bye. Things feel like they're beginning to get completely out of hand. Spring has gotten another Viper's pit for a post plan. They're nearing the Nightfall, nearing the showstopper. You know, a couple
at this point of moment, किसी को नहीं लेनी चाहिए शेरिफ भाई.
For the right guy.
बिजी को क्लासिक से खेलना चाहिए भाई वो शेरिफ का शॉट नहीं लगते भाई उसके
for the last buy round in this half to deny Billy from getting more than 4 unless they can come up with something on this eco round.
Last eco for Billy. Russia pushed up too far in B main and Spring ended up just taking 3 easy kills as he leisurely walked onto that site. This time it's a more passive, more patient start, but now we have an encounter brewing amid these smokes. Oh, Russia spotted.
ये तो होना ही था.
That's that gun advantage. He looks to exacerbate it once more. History repeats itself. Spring a little bit low, but he's done the most. He has gotten everyone on the side. distributing catnip amongst BLG. So Knight has to step up, try and stop the bleeding. It's
easily निकाल दिया भाई.
30 seconds.
Woods तक गोटी भाई.
No doubt has been one of the best players of this Swiss stage.
जी भाई.
We watched him online during the run to get
मेरा
here.
pick and waste हो गया फिर से.
Because of his willingness to just take fights on lurks.
I trusted you guys.
Play a lot of off angles. He loves to
But
take
still
a
Woods भी
duel.
पसंद है मुझे
But when
भाई.
he's playing like this, he just looks like a god among men. He had games like that online, but when he had misses, that was putting the rest of the squad in tough positions, trying to recover.
Juicy भी कैसे
He has
बैठा हुआ है
been
वैसे.
so consistent in this Swiss stage. I mean,
Nice.
if he plays
गन लेके भाग जा please.
against some
For
of the
God's
other
sake.
top teams, which I mean, to be fair, he already has.
तो मैंने सेव ही नहीं करने देंगे. Spring मार रहा है.
What a debut on the international stage. Just cleans up another. Why not? The spray control for that second kill in heaven while getting dinked.
Hey, bhai.
That's mental. 14 and 8 right now.
There's that first encounter. Yeah, Rushi just can't really find that level of purchase. That is astonishing. Once he dropped down, he heard him coming. Beautiful swing, whereas elsewhere there wasn't a whole lot to do for the rest of Wolves on the A side.
स्प्रिंग ने जब 3 मार दिया तो करना ही क्या है भाई. साइड एंट्री करनी इजीली हो जाती है वो.
Lysor, unlikely hero, stepped up on the deadlock. IGL Supap, but now we're back to what we expected. The duo of Juicy and Spring putting in work. They have a showstopper and a pit again. Just use that first raise.
दिक्कत क्या है पता है? इतनी बार वो लोग मिड लग कर दिए कि ये लोग मिड एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते हर राउंड, और वो फिर अब ए हार्ड पुश करना चालू कर दिया. हेवन कंट्रोल रहता नहीं इनके पास. बैकस्टैप एक जरूर आता ही आता है. Fuck भाई.
Before the Cybercage came down, Juicy gets into the side without being picked up, and YC is just entrenched here.
Oh, nice.
And can't get out.
2v2, 2v2.
Nice timing. Zulfat dealt
2v1,
with it.
2v1.
Deep as he is. Just got the ping on Rush's location to take the challenge. He needs to get another one.
And Juicy, the swing, the wide swing. He waited years to get onto this stage. And he is putting on an absolute show. Star player for Wolves.
BLG is washed, bro. BLG is washed. Hell
They're
no.
so sick on this map.
Hell no, bro.
What a way to send yourself into the break. Then a round like this, Red Bull clutch for
कितनी
Juicy.
साला वाइड स्विंग थी ये.
He's got that main character energy right now for Wolves. And it's history repeating itself.
Damn, bhai.
Score lines all the same from Wolves against Sentinels. A great attack side.
Damn, bhai.
Have they shored up?
सारे उड़ गए भाई टीम
On the defense side, that's something Coach Fade, who's feeling good right now, I'm sure, has
Damn,
to start
bhai.
thinking about as we look towards them taking an opportunity to qualify for those playoffs. More to come here after the break. It's a crazy split and a 4-round lead for Wolves.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in.
तो कितने एड्स मिलने लगे भाई.
I'll give you a sec.
नॉर्मली मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, वैलोरेंट को कितने एड्स मिलने लग गए हैं. पहले एक भी ऐड नहीं आता था भाई. जनरली मैं चैंपियंस के टाइम पे जब देखता था, मैं चैंपियंस 2023 की बात कर रहा हूँ, अभी देख रहा हूँ तो भाई हर मतलब कि हर हाफ टाइम के बाद 2-3 ऐड आते ही रहते हैं भाई. एम लैब्स का हो, ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप का हो, ओमेन का हो, हाइपरएक्स का हो, मास्टर कार्ड का हो, कॉइन बेस का हो. कितने ऐड्स है भाई. बढ़िया है, आई मीन अच्छी चीज़ है. I'll back in 2 minutes, bro.
Here's your Coinbase Econ report for our first half of split. And it's safe to say, why, looking at the numbers, we've got to look at Spring. Unreal efficiency. The amount of damage he's putting out per credit spent is pretty extraordinary in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, There's that spike early because he goes off in the initial couple rounds.
भाई स्प्रिंग तो गोड गेमर है ब्रो जेन्युइनली ये बंदा तो नेक्स्ट लेवल मारता है भाई
hitting so hard.
Genuinely क्या बंदा है ये
like one of the sharpest in this entire Swiss stage that we've been going through. You mentioned it before we went off to the break. Wolves, they had a tougher time on this side swap, playing defense against Sentinels. That's where things fell apart. And when Coach Fade called the timeout late, when they got back into the game, it was too little, too late. They were already down by too much of a significant amount. BLG, they have an opportunity to get back in this. They weren't able to beat Wolves the last time they faced off on Split. That was the map that Wolves want to get to Toronto.
And much of their success in their first half was on the back of YZ, even going as far as to pick up that operator as they funneled Wolves out to the edges of the map.
Throughout stage one, YZ was the
Now let's see.
in China with the highest ACS.
क्या came back हो पाएगा?
Not just duelist, just player.
Cause तीनों के तीनों गन फाइट आ रही है BLG.
He has a fearless style, but you could just say the exact same for Juicy. Sees
क्या ये चौथी गन फाइट जीत पाएगी? BLG.
प्यारो! Cutting Wolves off at the knees. Spring had to fight a way to stand up, but he was surrounded. And so it's Lysor, someone who we delightedly highlighted in the first map. He's a set gameplay.
Finally, एक गन फाइट जीत रही है भाई BLG.
He's allowed some of his teammates here to take the spotlight.
Time.
Wolves are still going to need him to be at capacity to close this series out.
Excellent flank coming through from K-Knight off of an extreme distraction. There was an explosion of utility.
ये मिडलक बहुत important होता है भाई.
Every single player in the vicinity had
कोई भी लेवल का बंदा मतलब कोई भी रैंक का बंदा अगर तुम बोलता है कि भाई यार एसेंट है हेवन है भाई क्यों लर्क कर रहे हो भाई ये मैप्स ऐसे होते ही है भाई लर्क में नहीं जीते सा सकते पता नहीं क्यों सब लोग मतलब कॉम्पिटिटिव में चाहते हैं भाई कि सब एक साथ ही पुश करें इवन तो ये टीम से देख लो भाई ये टीम से बैठी भाई बिडलक के भरोसे जीत रही है हर राउंड्स ओ माय गॉड लो तो किया भाई जूसी को
I must wait a moment.
Poison's off.
Cancel called on this push though.
Yeah, they are going to fall back. I mean, once YZ is able to tuck around.
भाई ये जीते ना भाई.
Toxin screen down.
They feel like let's go.
BLG को रैप पे मार रहे चाहिए भाई.
Gamble stack.
Genuine.
Hey, I think it looks like they want to rotate, just figuring that. Hey, we showed a lot. We paranoid. We haunted. We swung out. Surely they just go over to this A side, right? They kind of hesitated for a moment though, and that is going to allow BLG to get into the site before Wolves can actually.
एक साथ जाएंगे. Obviously.
This foray.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Nice. Nice.
Down by his own teammate there. A little bit of an odd exchange.
That was tactical.
Nef gun क्यों नहीं लिया?
No orb for a player on Billy. All good. That's why he did it. That's why he did it.
अच्छा उसके पास गन नहीं थी. Never mind.
If it gets broken, the paranoia want to swing out of the dark cover, but the positions for Billy here were safe early on in that round. Just trying to play around and circumvent something exactly like that.
Player standing.
NT bro.
Pivot over to that A
Come back तो हो रहा है bro. मगर अब most important round. दोनों के पास एक मिनट guns नहीं है BLG के पास fuck.
Weaponry to play with YZ with the best.
Midluck क्यों नहीं कर रहे bro?
Phantom in hand, flash to get information.
Protein round में लर्क ही नहीं करते भाई ये. वो दो लोग बैठे हैं midluck के लिए.
Trailblazers, something known to Billy in this matchup have access to. Looking to clear their way up ramp and also reveal the trap wire. That is cleared.
भाई full to clear भी कर रहे हैं लोग तो भाई. Deep clear कर रहे हैं. एक मिनट जूसी बैठा हुआ है अभी भी.
They've left themselves an insert and Levius towards that A side.
Damn भाई सब deep बैठे हैं.
Go work mid. But to clear out male information now on Spring who drops back.
This is still good. Diligent.
47 seconds बचे भाई साइट एंटर करके प्लांट भी करना तुम्हें.
Oh, Spring catches him despite taking a lot of damage, and here's the execute onto the B site. Juicy from Raptor, fully blinded.
Shrugs it off though. Just around the corner is K9. Blast back thrown out to disrupt potentially Lysor. Gets his in the back of the side and Juicy's now tucked. But why is he able just to swoop around the corner?
Okay.
Spring!
Oh,
all of his targets
nice.
evading him.
Nice.
So nice from Billy. Very clean. Securing this bonus means that we might have ourselves an even game on our hands.
Does YU try
ठीक है
and go for this, can he?
भाइयों का सेव कर ले ब्रो तेरी पूरी टीम के पास मंदी में है तेरी पूरी टीम
Positioning, swing out.
Hell ना ब्रो ये जा
Too many players able to face him.
सेव ही नहीं कर रहा ब्रो भाई को
I love the pathing from BLG on that round. The early pressure on ramp.
Nice bro लगातार 3 राउंड जीतना
Damn. Set up in a 1-3-1. They fake like, hey, we could be getting into that.
गोटी गेमर्स ब्रो BLG
So when they actually go 4 people through B main, attention is just having to be
busy the goatee.
So many
Clean
plays
shots
in
marta hua.
locations. You have Juicy scared about them coming through mail. It's a great burst out of main with all of their players. That was a great round from BLG. Really impressive stuff, and it's put Wolves on an eco. And it feels like
my god
deja vu.
RC को पे भाई
They start slow on this defensive half. They lose the pistol, they get bonused, same exact story.
Coming alive not a moment too soon, BLG. It's got us already starting to think about the potential of Pearl to come up. Yeah, last time these two teams played on this map, it was...
Maybe hard push भी कर दे तो आराम से जीत जाएंगे क्योंकि इनको भी पता है कि उनका इको राउंड है.
Very soft.
Still कितना आराम से खेल रहे हैं लोग.
They know just how deep they need to dig right.
बहुत patience है भाई.
To secure that playoff berth. A lot of sheriffs here for Wolves. Silfat crossing mid at a time, and that causes him and Bushi to pass.
Okay, इसकी गन जाने वाली है. नेफ क्या कर रहा है मेरे भाई?
Gotten all the way into A, was running around as well, so
he's calling it too.
भाई ये 50 निकालने वाले बंदे. बच गया भाई नेफ नहीं तो दोनों दौड़ा के मार दे अभी इसको.
Yeah, A is wide open. They're just going to play it safe and late round run.
Obviously A पे जाएंगे अब.
Over to Neff to make
भाई पूरी टीम उनकी B पे आ गई है.
Easy on round 16.
Damn भाई क्या levitate करते हैं bro ये लोग.
Speak too soon. Spring and Juicy do have sheriffs.
I mean rotate करते हैं. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Even at this point, who cares about damage? The BLG economy is so good. Wolves need round wins on the board.
10 seconds left.
All right, well, cat's out the bag now for Wolves. Again, against a team like Billy.
In my thinking, भाई इनको जाना चाहिए लड़के ले दो के स्प्लिट में.
Moves and reveal themselves pretty late into a round.
और एक बंदे को पकड़ के गन्स लेनी चाहिए.
And now with the attackers fully entrenched, anchored in the A side, they're armed to the teeth. Wolves know there's just no outcome.
नहीं night.
That will result in them really taking a round win from here. So set up for what you can. It's a rifle for young Spring.
One gun recovered, another kill for the board, sitting at a
cool
18 right now.
अच्छा, okay.
It's a question of like what the plan should be going forward for Wolves.
भाई मुझे 1 सेकंड के लिए लगा कि दूसरी टीम आके मार रही.
Here we go. Just Spring, of course, with the rifle in hand, who opts not to perish to the spike. So even game now, folks. 4 rounds in a row picked up for Billy.
8 हो चुका है.
Building very nicely off a pistol.
चालू होगा तगड़े राउंड. BC.
Wolves have been a little
comeback किया भाई.
Haven't really been able to unravel things, and we've seen when the pace of the game gets taken away from them.
4 राउंड लगातार comeback bro.
At times struggled to assert themselves. That is more Josh than I could ever handle.
I don't need that many.
That is a full thrower team of side shows.
One is enough. One is enough.
भाई बोला ना मुझे टकलू खुद ही पसंद था भाई. टकलू कमेंट्री इतनी जॉट थी.
Taking his time to clear up forward. Really expecting some kind of trap play, which is set up towards B main. To be fair, there's a
वापस से मिड छोड़ दिया ब्रो इन लोग ने. भाई सेम गलती ये लोग भी कर रहे हैं ब्रो. 3 बंदे बी पे क्या जरूरत है?
Returning to this point, but Juicy was the one that got Wolves rolling. They had a rough start.
पूरा बिट क्लियर कर लिया भाई.
They were often in 4v5s.
भाई कितना डीप क्लियर कर दिया.
Juicy was still able to, just by brute force, create an opportunity into the map. And credit to the rest of them, they did convert on those.
कैम भी नहीं लगा भाई.
All events just taken for free.
But still
Some good map control.
I hope so. Yuka to marega.
Really deep in heaven, so they can get in here. K Knight grouping up with them.
Full heaven control hai bhai.
Their presence known, so they can just pivot back through vent, get into mid, go for a B split.
Look at how they pull the rotation. Yeah, Juicy realizes he needs
Most common thing कर रहे भाई ये लोग. वो लो भाई.
Lysor trying to
miss
hold
हो
the
गया
left side of this, but crosshair positioning broken as Neff dives on out. Lysor here has
Oh!
to come alive, and that might just be enough. Stunning follow-up.
Sheesh भाई.
Levy's here is bereft of teammates, running out of time. It certainly doesn't have a lot of options at his disposal.
Plant भी नहीं कर सकते भाई.
Wolves finally rewarded for their patience, trying not to over-rotate early, even though Juicy was at risk of doing just that. Levy's doesn't have time to plant here, it's done.
That really is the key. Both of these teams just playing that slow style on attack, not over-committing. They are happy to make these late pivots.
Save तो नहीं करने देना चाहिए, but save करने दे रहे हैं.
On this map, we talked about
जबकि तीन बंदे सामने बैठे थे.
Every international event he attended last year, certainly cannot say the same for the rest of Wolves. They are new to this. Sufa IGL saying it's been to be here.
बहुत ही ज़्यादा beast है bro.
So much, and has arrived on the stage.
That has got to feel vindicating.
Fashion.
Vindicating for Lysor. Again, having such a fantastic showing on Ascent. He was a little bit slow to start here, but that's composure, that's years of experience, that anchoring on that B side. And if Wolves can follow up their just slower approach to these defense side rounds with precision.
Oh yeah, FPX पे था.
They'll have
वही
the
मैं
stopping power
सोचूं.
against this BLG team.
ये तो हमेशा 12-13th राउंड पे फिनिश करती थी. थोड़ा तो एक्सपीरियंस है दोनों के पास वैसे. वही मैं सोचूं कहाँ इसका नाम सुना था. बट बहुत जल्दी एलिमिनेट हो जाती थी इनकी टीम तो.
Again, it's just this patience from BLG.
Sheesh भाई.
Which does feel very un-BLG-like. When is YZ just going to run down and just keep pushing?
Yeah, I mean,
really haven't seen a whole lot of that.
It's the same on Ascent, right? It gets the double Senti comp. In fairness, that kind of requires a bit of a...
ये बढ़िया है गुरु. अगर ये लोग पूरा
work the map. They pulled a bunch of early rotation from
Levius की health देखो भाई.
Levius has walked up and he didn't know there was still so much presence at B. Okay, time to anchor.
Yeah, they want to get in. Wow, from the shadows actually popped. Why are you getting some assistance with Lysor here?
I've got your trade.
There's no follow-up to spring.
Okay, वापस से दो लोग हो गए साइड पे.
Secure a trade. Why are you good for going Lysor to the rescue? Just the one this time around, but one might be enough. Here's Rushia.
Plant to कर दे bro.
Two players about to accost him from that heaven side. This would have to be a monumental clutch. Pinged down by the Horde. Juicy comfortably.
Easily ही निकाल लिया bro.
Now, that money's starting to bleed down a little bit for Billy. It's such a good start to this half means they've been inoculated from this sort of volatility. Can still keep the pressure on with those weapons. But Wolves are getting more comfortable in this slower, more anchor-centric approach.
This was great from Lysor to get over to assist YU, who was fully committed to anchoring this site. So even though they got a pick elsewhere and theoretically would have loved to play for a retake with man advantage, that wasn't an option. They needed
easily
to
ही
help
कह दे
YU.
भाई.
Over there with the ult, they double up.
Generally, I want the comeback of BLG. Comeback किया भी फिर से हारने लग गए.
Now we've got the timeout call. BLG are in serious danger. Wolves getting back into this defensive half, stringing rounds together much earlier than they could.
बहुत छोटी-छोटी गलतियां कर रहे हैं वापस
से. In that game, too little, too late. But here, able to get back in.
Micro mistakes, भाई. Generally micro mistakes.
That could be used on one of these full buy rounds.
वापस से वही चीज बोलूँ भाई. ये टीम 7 बार खेल चुकी है एक दूसरे से compete करने के चक्कर में. Last time जब खेला था तब BLG जीती थी 3-0 in CN finals.
Chinese teams would love to see one another advance forward, but this region has already well and truly put themselves on the map in the past. In 2024, we know what they're capable of.
Sorry, semi-finals.
But even still, Wolves being the team that might advance to playoffs over Billy shocked many of us. They've shown such determination, grit, and quality of play over the course of this group stage. Still a couple of rounds from that kind of milestone, but I'm sure they're thinking of it. I'm sure they're trying not to, but I'm sure it's there.
Out of this timeout, adjustment for Billy. YZ picks up the attack side operator. We saw him do this a lot
now let's
on
see.
Lotus. and was finding success.
दोनों के पास buy है.
Crazy
Please
multi-kills.
don't fuck up. Please don't fuck
Kills
up.
as well.
Our last
Well
chance,
played from Wolf.
BLG.
Simple nade, one way, get forward, get the orb to Juicy. Showstopper now available.
Spring's positioning is actually the variation in this round. Last couple rounds, Wolves have given up mid entirely.
भाई स्प्रिंग का सबसे बढ़िया है ब्रो. हर राउंड मिड खोल रहा है. वाइपर्स में वापस से वो डाल के चला जाता है. वल्नरेबल डाल के. That's it. खाली छोड़ दिया भाई
Now
मिड.
they're not offering themselves up. They are content just playing safe in these sites, waiting for late rounds. I mean, this could be an opportunity. Maybe YZ posts up, catches a jump spot.
अबे किसने ऑफ करी दी है? विजी ने ऑफ करी दी?
Juicy has a showstopper, so Lysor can fall off this line if he's pressured.
Fuck भाई.
Such a hard shot to hit. Has to swing out and get the reaction time.
And now you're just going to get stall util. Like, you're just going to have smokes rotated.
भाई विजी अगर तूने विफ किया ना भाई, मैंने 2-3 बार देखा इस बंदे को अब हकते हुए.
I could see a situation here where this trip gets broken and then maybe a showstopper comes through. Yep.
Oh shit.
Juicy. Who can't get it off in time?
Nice.
Okay, that's a bit of a miss, no doubt about it. Sufat though sees a golden opportunity to play off that season, gets one, but doesn't expect there to be so many. Almost recovers the time, but it's not to be. I saw there was an opportunity there, a chance.
भाई देख तो ले.
In their tracks with the patience from the attackers has absolutely paid off.
मैं मैप नहीं देखता ब्रो. यूको वहाँ पे बैठा हुआ है.
He's got no business being on that B side of the map.
Just a moment away from Juicy likely converting two if he was able to get that rocket fired.
भाई genuinely भाई Juicy के 2 kills से easily. विजी भी मरता. रूशिया भी मरता.
But a slight moment before popping that showstopper too when he was in the corner.
वो थोड़े से बचा था भाई.
Adding up, spelling disaster
बहुत
the
थोड़े
side
से.
of Wolves. They've still got enough money to buy here. We head into the next round, still maintaining the lead, but just barely. Compared to the last time these two teams played on this map, Billy have looked.
भाई शॉर्टी बहुत underrated है यार. Generally. पता है बहुत वो समझता है शॉर्टी को.
The step up from both sides.
यार क्या करेंगे?
The ascent gameplay for Wolves
बेकार होती है.
light years apart from what we saw last time they played Billy with a really.
अबे एक मिनट, what the fuck? Wolves ने time out ले लिया.
Last time out here for Wolves, Billy having expended theirs and then were able to take the round. Even when things looked a bit dire early, this exchange.
ये तो whiff round था bro. सबने 1v1 हगा अपना.
This time it would actually be called by Fade, and it's essentially at, you know, give or take a couple rounds, more would ascend, but the exact same juncture in that game where it was very late on the defensive half.
You see, the Sufat doesn't expect there to be more than one player in Malroom. I mean, Wolves are giving up so much of the map that it's pretty hard for them to get current and relevant information. So, look, things like how many players are stacked up, the fact that there was 3 BLG players in mid, they don't have a mechanism with which to find that out in advance. That's why Sufat's caught with util in his hand, hoping to try and haunt to see what else is happening in mid. In a different world, they kind of know there are multiple players there. They play around the seas a little differently. Maybe a more passive angle on the showstopper even.
One of the adjustments that was made by BLG when they were on defense against a similarly slow-paced attack side was picking moments to double push into B main or A main to try and fight that one player that was stood there. You know, up until this point, it has been extremely passive from Wolves on defense. They're just waiting for BLG to execute into sites, trying to play around their anchors.
Okay, we are back again.
Want to get more proactive to get some space, find that
BLG अगर ये round नहीं जीती.
Extremities that BLG are trying to use to make pivots through mid, split into sites.
So Coach Fade, has he been able to cook something up for Wolves in this round number 20? Game is getting uncomfortable. In fairness, it has been uncomfortably tight in the second half.
भाई कुछ टाइम आउट लिया है, कुछ ना कुछ तो उखाड़ेंगे भाई.
A long time to get started, losing pistol and bonus, allowing the game to be.
ऐसा तो करेंगे नहीं ये.
Since then,
you know,
huggy दे पूरा. But back and forth round results.
Trailblazer is broken by
Spring. Guns लोगों मतलब ये knife लोगों को कैसे पसंद भी कैसे आती है bro.
On this round.
That showstopper could be pretty relevant. Why is he trying to open up mid with this op? Juicy this time feels like a more subtle approach to controlling Malroom, and Heaven might be in order.
He doesn't really have anyone to swing off of him. Why is he running?
Oh!
What a spray down from Juicy. No one able to trade. K-Knight trying to get into the side, trying to make something happen.
We pushed up with an off. Wysee was out in front of the Wyatt. This time, Juicy! Patience pays dividends. The floor for Wolves out of absolutely nowhere. And all of a sudden, the mood in the entire room has changed. Juicy out of his seat. 4 brilliant kills. But look at the position they've forced BLG into, what they've had to do to try and take the
ऑप लेके कौन एंगल क्लियरिंग करता है?
Just a little movement adjustment keeps the control on the spray to get an instant headshot when Neff tried to swing
Miniature
in.
angle ऑप से क्लियर कर रहा है bro.
Can feel it, Wolves. They're on the precipice of doing the unthinkable. To some extent, both of these teams written off, but to a seriously greater extent for Wolves. And they are right within touching distance of making it into the playoffs. More so than I think any other international tournament in the past. China is about to get 2 teams in the playoff run.
We see direct headshot, bhai, direct
We
headshot.
have a rivalry renewed. The 9th matchup between Wolves and Bilibili, one that Bilibili historically have dominated. 6-2 is their record. But more recently, it's this Wolves team that have come of age, that have come alive, and that have developed
but
a new
most
facet to their game.
important match.
Bilibili grouped here with 3 on the B side. Once again, they
Bilibili.
don't get offered much early. In fact, Neff's on the receiving end of some shots
I mean,
down
इसके
mid
बाद
from
elimination match है.
But a showstopper could be just what the doctor ordered to crack this site open. Spring, decent little intuition, but he's about to back away. The fight is coming right down. Juicy sees a chance to trade and deals with the raise. Now can turn his attention to the site itself, but it's wayward. Levius holds his ground. Neff low, but still being made use of on the A side to keep a couple Wolves players there. TP though in from Russia to bolster the attack side, forces it B. Neural Theft forces Sealfed out, and now they know where the Fade is playing from.
You could see
भाई रूसिया, अबे रूसिया ने अल्ट करके भाई साहब.
Neff, patience required. He can't overplay his hand. Just simply existing in the back line, so Wolves know eventually they'll have to deal with this flank. Look at Lyser, the way he has to adjust, just expecting this flank to come at some point. But Neff
Obviously आना तो है.
to stay alive, keep them distracted.
Bye.
Critics be damned. Finds 2. Tries to open this
What
up
the
now.
fuck?
1v2 for the round and time.
2v1.
Really not working for him at all.
Easy.
Maybe looking to keep a cap on these guys.
Easy round.
Get in there and give it a tap. But unfortunately, his contemporaries fell apart on the side.
Nice
Tried to
one,
hold. Right back to the tit-for-tat rounds we go. Bilibili get their 10th.
Spring was playing so close with that pit, so Wisey had the ideal opportunity to catch him out with a showstopper. Sure, traded out by Juicy, who then tries to make the adjustment. Losing the duel to Levius. Sufat wanted so desperately to get into assists, but
Easy one, bro.
had no chance to do it.
I will see you.
निकाला है भाई.
The reputation, I think, for these 2 teams coming out of the home region was that there was this volatile, fast-paced play, but this is so different. This is really looking like a chess match between our teams. Slow, early to mid-rounds, rotations to pull across the map, and finally these burst executes.
Full investment here for Wolves. This could be worth 2 for BLG, but the spam through from Sufat collects onto K-Knight. Nightfall.
Okay.
Ripped through ramps, connecting onto multiple
चल
players now.
BLG में तो सिर्फ VC को छोड़ के और कोई नाइटमेयर में आया ही नहीं.
Why is it that decay now dissipating? They've shrugged off the Nightfall.
But still, slow down तो बहुत कर दिया.
Look at the rest of the map. Still unbreakable trip. Place in mid. And an AWP picked up from Juicy that's controlling B. Making it steadfast. 3
भाई
players
Juicy
right
पूरा B
on
कंट्रोल
A.
कर रहा है.
Right now they got the
I think इन लोग को वो करना चाहिए. Rotate कर लो भाई at this moment of time.
Manifest an opportunity.
भाई वहाँ पे भी 2 बंदे बैठे हैं.
Where wants to double up, play a crossfire with YU.
It's going to be rewarded if he holds this. Trap cleared there, Spring into action.
Damn भाई. जीत गए टीम.
Now spikes in mid, but their players are over on the A side of the map. All but unrecoverable this situation.
GG भाई.
These people just bide his time. Can trade his life, that's fine. Why is he pops up and pops right back down? Not the kind of game of whack-a-mole he's looking to play. He's on the wrong side of that arrangement. Still prevails against Spring, but there are other players.
भाई देख के भी इग्नोर कर रहा है.
Their lips. His Wolves The
कोई
scent
ना
of
भाई
blood, they've caught it.
GG
One
भाई
round away from
GG
making
for
the Masters Toronto
BLG
playoffs.
Springs made such an intelligent rotation there into Vents after things were slowed down. There was that noise cut from BLG, pivoting to play the cross with YU.
BLG का GG है
The BLG team would either try to work themselves into a split or at least try to draw some attention back towards mid to get some rotates off that A site.
BLG का GG है भाई
Ready, holds the cross.
BLGG
More multi-kills for him, topping the board at 21. It's Wolves on match point, potentially doing the unthinkable. Juicy locking down B main with this op. Can he find the opening?
Camping down, it's K-Knight down already.
easy win bro
And yet, Billy still determined to look for something here at B. Why you overextend, showstopper, YZ. Oh, he gets tracked by Juicy. Now he can fall back onto the side, still this op in hand. Neural theft revealing the BLG are all about this
भाई बंदा beast बन गया
3 kills with the op in this round. And he knows
ये बंदा beast बन गया
on his shoulders. He knows how close Wolves are to completing a miracle run here through groups. Just one more step. Nath low, Viper's bit up here for Levius. They've at least got that to work with the Billy. They've fully committed. Still no spike plant. Levius has not found a window in order to deploy that. And F is looking for a timing, a way out. Lysor deals with him. And it's on Levius now, all on the Viper, who still hasn't found a chance to plant. And it just so happens if you dare to dance with the Wolves.
nice son bro still nice generally nice अच्छा निकाला
Juicy with an unreal play on the final round. Waited years to just be able to play in the VCT at all. Couldn't get a spot in Pacific, the home region. Has to go over to China.
अच्छा निकाला
Joins
भाई
this Wolves team who go on an unlikely run to even qualify for Toronto. That was Sufat's dream. And now they're taking it even further. He said today, he doesn't fear not advancing. He doesn't fear elimination. And they came out swinging.
Silfat says, all I've been through in the last 7 years, it has been tough. No one knows what it's taken him yet. Every time he stepped on this stage, it's been with a smile. He stood up, he clowned around with Zelsis first and foremost, and even after that loss, this team came back stronger and stronger. Their second win now achieved. And Juicy finally a chance to stand on a stage like this. Lysor vindicated. So much to talk about. Generally down on the stage.
अच्छा निकाला भाई
Post-match interview with Silfat.
generally अच्छा निकाला
Congratulations!
nice
Sifa, BB, yeah, BB, we're gonna need you. Okay, first time that we have 2 CN teams in the Masters playoffs, and it's not EDG, and it's not FBX. What does that say about the CN region?
首先恭喜你们赢下了比赛的胜利，因为这是第1回在大师赛我们有2支 CN 的队伍，而且这2支队伍不是 EDG， 不是 FunPlus， 不是大家熟知的那些队伍。你觉得这对于 CN 赛区来说意味着什么呢？
我觉得我们第一次进到季后赛，我们也是代表 VCT CN 赛区的。我觉得就是因为我们 VCT CN 其他的队伍或者所有人都让我们每一个人都学习到很多成长。其实无论是哪一支队伍进到季后赛，只要是 VCT CN 都会很开心。我很骄傲。
I think this is our first master journey, and it's our first time to head into the playoffs. And I really, to be honest, I really learned a lot from our region, and we get some feedbacks. We get so many things, absorb so many things from our region. And no matter which team heading to the playoffs, I think the whole region will be very happy about that.
Yeah, as competitive as they can get. Now, I want to ask you about the Tejo's absence, because it seems like Tejo's absence seems to have sped things up in the meta, and you guys look incredibly comfortable with this new meta, fast-paced meta. Do you feel like this type of fast-paced playstyle suits you guys better?
因为其实太湖削弱之后，对于整个的版本整个的游戏生态是有很大的影响的。但是我们可以看到，在当下的这个游戏环境下，其实你们是非常适应太湖削弱之后这个版本，可能是一个相对来说节奏比较快的版本，你们的表现也是非常好的。那你认为当前这个版本，包括说你们比较快节奏的这种打法方式是比较适合你的吗？比较快节奏的这种方式会比较适合你们吗？当下的这种打法？
其实我觉得真的没有特别说哪个版本会比较不适应，就是我觉得之前那个版本确实会打得比较慢，但是打得比较慢不代表不适合我们5个，因为我们5个人是很灵活的，就是我觉得打得慢，我们为什么打得不好，是因为可能当中一些细节啊、决策啊，或者走位、时机，整团队整个配合很多方面，导致到我们那把的失利。但这把的快节奏，是因为我们把其他的细节，无论是沟通、走位、配合、信息、timing， 全部都配合得很好。我觉得大家心态又很好的时候，我觉得这样子任何版本我们都可以认付，只要是做好细节的话，我们可以面对不同的版本，其实都一样的。
However, one of the people that have kept up with
the patch issue, and we used to have the slow pace
is Saiku now.
But I think the reason why we didn't perform that good on that patch was like,
Instagram story of mine with like a fire emoji, or he'll be like, feel better, or he'll just say some random thing. Out of all my streamer friends, Saiku has been one of the ones that I did not expect to reach out as much as he does, which I have just found so sweet, because like, you don't gotta do that. He's not asking so we can stream together or do something.
We know how to fix our details, and if we can do like that, no matter what kind of patch is right now, I think we can do very good.
Okay, lastly, playoffs, pressure or no pressure?
Honestly, 我觉得其实已经没有任何的压力了，因为我觉得从我一开始来 Master Toronto， 我觉得已经是很开心。我会觉得我只要把我队友的实力跟潜力让全部人都看到，其实我的队友是很厉害的。然后我也很谢谢他们相信我。其实我们已经没有任何的压力了，尽管多么不被人家看好，我们是实力什么排名啊或者什么实力，我觉得没关系，我们还是相信着自己，打好每一把就好了。
I think right now I have no pressure at all. Things are arrived at Toronto. I'm truly happy that we have the opportunity to show our stress, especially the potential
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and yeah, actually, I'm part of the game, man. I'll be real. I live life on the edge. I broke the rules. I broke the law. You know, honestly, I expect federal agents to be at my doorstep putting.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Congratulations against Youth BB. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance to get.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
तो अभी ऐड चल रहे हैं तब तक आई थिंक अभी टाइम लगने वाला है। You know what? हाँ रे यार मुझे वो करना था, मैं तब तक स्टैंड बुक कर लेता हूँ अपना। माइक का स्टैंड खराब हो गया। भाई कितना भसड़ू होता है यार, ये भसड़ू मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद है भाई। कि पहले तुम माइक है वो देखो, उसका फिर स्टैंड देखो, और वही स्टैंड तुम्हें करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज तुमने वही माइक लिया है। हर स्टैंड वो क्यों नहीं होता है यार, मतलब वैसा ही क्यों नहीं होता है? मिंटू से कि सेम क्यों नहीं होता है? ऐसा क्यों होता है कि भाई तुम्हें मतलब सेम कंपनी का ही स्टैंड लेना पड़ेगा? ये पता नहीं क्या रूल है। देखते हैं कब तक आएगा ब्रो। 16 तारीख को फक भाई। छी भाई। अब TL versus PRX।
Wolves have made it through, which means there is only one slot left for playoffs, and it comes down to PRX and Team Liquid. I am your hosting, so I'm back here again with Mel and Ender. I cannot believe there's only one slot left, and it's Liquid or PRX. You would have thought that both of them will be making it through.
Yeah, you don't want to have to choose between these two teams, but somehow that's the situation we find ourselves in now. PRX coming off of a tough loss to Genji, and TL with Nats.
Generally, मैंने सबसे
yeah, and I really thought maybe there was enough time to incorporate their IGL so last minute when we got here yesterday, and I was proven wrong. They came out the gate swinging, and Nats is still in that argument for most valuable player in my eyes, purely because
Generally
they win with him and they lose without him.
2500 का माइक है, 800 का मुझे स्टैंड वापस से खरीदना पड़ रहा है। जनरली इतना महंगा क्यों है? इससे अच्छा तो मैं नया माइक ही खरीद लूँ।
On the side of Team Liquid, and this current roster was there, so this is going to be a very interesting matchup. And you heard it from Nats himself. He's never faced PRX, so I have no idea how it's going to go today, but Mel, this is definitely going to be one of the most important games for these two teams.
Yeah, I think too, thinking about the EMEA playstyle and how it matches up against APAC, traditionally I would say it favors APAC most of the time. That raw aggression and how they play typically tends to take teams like Team Liquid off guard.
I like that we have the matchup here with Nats coming in, the mind versus the madness that is PRX, and that's really what we're going to see unfold in the server today, because PRX have been continuing to play pretty off-the-wall stuff.
Yeah, normally it's Mind Freak, right? Instead of just the mind. But sorry, wow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But for Patty, now on Team Liquid, it's going to be a little bit about revenge, because he was eliminated by PRX last year at Masters. So ahead of today's matchup, of course, we're going to put him up against one of his opponents. Here's Jen, Davai, and Patatek.
Time.
Hello everyone, Jen Lee here with Davai and Patatek. Now Davai, this is Patatek.
Hello. Hello.
And in case you don't remember, you've been living in his mind rent-free since Masters Madrid. You sent him home once. Are you going to send him home again?
We probably gonna extend the trip here, and on the way back you can think of me more.
Whoa! Pat Attack, you heard the man, but I feel like you've been waiting for this rematch for the longest time ever.
Sheesh, bhai.
You know, what's the game plan here? What's on your mind?
Just more experience and just shoot heads, cause we're gonna come.
Have you got the permission to do
Watchparty? Right.
Yo, Sliggy, which side are you on this time?
Should I get the permission for the watch party also?
Forget you are liquid content creator.
Is it not?
I guess if you switch the train, I guess you are heading to Berlin.
Choo-choo.
Damn. Is that so?
Why do we stop that? Why do we even come back to the desk? I want just the entire.
I'm really sorry. I really didn't know about that.
Over custody of Sliggy, it's crazy.
Yeah, you can get
and
copyright strike.
Sliggy of all people, you know, in a
Damn.
world where Mini exists, FNS
You don't
is
know?
out here
Nah,
watchpartying,
I didn't know about this.
Sliggy, damn. Can't believe
Because
that.
generally, many of the people are doing this.
Yeah, and I also love the way that normally you would expect.
Okay.
You would expect.
I
PRX
think
to be one of the trash talks a bit more, but on the side of PRX, it's Divine.
I think
coming out, giving it.
seeing
Can
this
he
comment,
back it
I
up?
should
Does he
just
have a reason to be this confident?
I mean, I think
solve
so,
the watch
honestly,
party
coming into
right
this
now.
Game. But you know, PRX
Kya
their
scene hua?
opening match looked so powerful.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hell nah, bhai. Generally, I didn't know about this, bhai, buddy. क्या ये रियल है ब्रो? नॉर्डन से ले लेते हैं लोग जनरली, पर इस बार उन्हें नहीं दिए. बट नॉर्मली लोग स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं ब्रो. Like many people are streaming, bro. I'm not the only one. Wait a minute. Let me see. Now I'm worried about it. I didn't have any issue streaming the what was that? Master Bangkok. Google कर लो. Maybe. Wait a minute. I should say. Yup. Not many people are streaming. Yeah, I hadn't noticed this, bro. Wait a minute. I should see. Holy shit. Wait a minute. नहीं कर रहे हैं लोग, bro. Many people are doing the streaming. I'm not the only one, to be honest. Many but हाँ, कम लोग कर रहे हैं. बड़े क्रिएटर्स को एक्सेस कहाँ मिला है इस बार? मिला है. See the Bings, 8-bit Bings, हर्ष खेल रहे. Many big YouTubers have got the access about this. You can see they are streaming right now. ऐसा नहीं है. देखना भाई, जो 100-200 वाले हैं वही कर रहे हैं. राइट के ध्यान नहीं जाता उन पे. नहीं, बड़े स्ट्रीमर्स भी कर रहे हैं भाई. बहुत बड़े स्ट्रीमर्स भी कर रहे हैं. 100-200 सब्स की बात अलग है, बट दे आर पीपल विद 352K, 112K. उन्हें डायरेक्ट राइट से मिलता है. ओके. आई थिंक आई शुड स्टॉप द स्ट्रीमिंग फॉर राइट नाउ. आई एम रियली सॉरी अबाउट इट. मैं ट्राई करूँगा पहले कि मैं इस चीज़ को पता कर लूँ, और अगर यू नो इफ़ आई गेट सम कंफर्मेशन और इफ़ दिस इज़ ट्रू, मैं कल से कंटिन्यू रखूँगा. गूगल कर राइट के साइट पे जाके. या आई शुड. आई थिंक थैंक यू फॉर दैट. आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं ब्रो. जनरली मुझे नहीं पता ये सीन होता है. आई थॉट इट वॉज फ्री टू वॉच. जनरली मास्टर्स के बाद इन सब के चैनल उड़ेंगे भाई साहब. मैं अपनी साइड से प्रिकॉशन लेने का ट्राई करता हूँ। पहले एक बार मैं पता कर लेता हूँ इस चीज़ के बारे में कि क्या सीन है क्या नहीं। मुझे आज तक सिर्फ वैलोरेंट की एक ही स्ट्राइक आई है, वो भी गलत तरीके से आई है। मैंने उस टाइम पे मैं वो भी नहीं करता था, वॉच पार्टी भी नहीं करता था। सो आई नो दे आर सीरियस अबाउट इट, इसलिए मैं अभी स्ट्रीम बंद कर रहा हूँ भाई। जेन्युइनली जो सीन होगा वो मैं बाद में देखता हूँ भाई। या यू शुड, या आई शुड स्टॉप द स्ट्रीमिंग फॉर राइट नाउ। और जितने भी वीडियोस है वो मैं प्राइवेट करने का ट्राई करूँगा जितना हो सके। या बबूई, पीस आउट गाइस, कल से मिलते हैं। जैसा भी सीन रहेगा मैं कल इन्फॉर्म